Welcome to Gambling.
Taking some edge off.
And now, here are
Exo and AceTenBJ.
Who is it that made the comment? I forgot his name already. Oh, deal me in, right.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, he was in chat the other day. I don't know what his deal is going to be, but his question is legitimate, and I've got an answer for it.
See, I don't even know if he wants an answer to it or if he just wants to put that out there.
Is there a way he can get your YouTube name and like ban you from saying anything at all? So every time.
That's my real name, and so I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if YouTube allows that. Like, if I didn't like you, I could just ban you from my site. You know what I mean? From saying anything before it goes.
I have him on Facebook too.
No, he can do that in the live stream, but I don't think he can do that from the comments.
Who's Andrew Vega? He just posted.
That's Exo.
No, not the pinned post. The actual post below that. It should go John McDevitt, Tony Grayson, Exo Tur.
I just watched that video. I watch both videos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go to Sparrow's video and smash the fucking like button.
Yeah, I did. I like Sparrow's video.
His mask is so cool, man.
What's it called when he's like, okay, I'm not going to count this card until I steal the next card? Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's a different way to learn, I would think.
Exo.
Yes, sir.
Fox was asking you a question.
Oh, I'm sorry, Fox. What'd you say?
Yeah, what's it called, like, when Sparrow, okay, he like, put out a card, he's like, I'm not going to count that card until it's put on.
Okay, so that's basically lag counting, right? And that was one of the things that him and I talked about, because I know he does it, and I do it too. And it's something that eventually, like, everybody kind of gets into. And not everybody will do it the same, but it is something that happens eventually, and some people either stick with it or they don't. Basically, he's just waiting. He's carrying one card over for a cross cancellation. If it doesn't cancel, then he adds it to his count. Now, before any player decision, he will add it, period, which he doesn't really explain on that, and that's fine. But he shows you how you can carry it over. So, like, he'll get to I think, like, +6 or something like that, and then he carries a card over until it cancels, and it doesn't cancel, so he gets 2 more cards, so he goes, +7, +8 at that point, carries another card over, and then he shows the cancel, so then he's at the number he was at previously.
Yeah, but now you got to watch each card that comes out and remember the card that came before it, instead of just having them all on the table.
Right.
Cross cancellation within a couple seconds after they already come out.
Right, which is a technique you're going to add on top of basically scanning the table, because early on he talks about, having your back turn and then immediately turning back around and be like...
Yeah, that's what I try to do, because
right, and so as the cards are coming out on like a more packed table, you can use that technique he's talking about where you carry the card over hoping to cross cancel it.
Yeah,
Right.
Within a couple seconds.
Right. I wouldn't suggest it early on for anybody, but it's definitely something that most people eventually pick up and use.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. But like in heads-up play against the dealer, you're not ever going to use it.
No, yeah, of course.
Hey, can somebody see my comment? Go in there and see if my comment is still up there.
Yeah, mine's definitely deleted. I just looked. But there's a reply after. It's funny, so it says like 2 replies, but then there's only 1 reply.
Can 2 people be logged into his YouTube at one time?
Probably.
Yeah. He definitely has somebody sitting there.
I watched his video, Mike's video, and he's talking about they deleted the forum in Discord because the haters and, like, someone won $500 and they're commenting, like, you just got lucky.
He's talking about AceTen, I'm telling you.
No, he's not. Well, fuck it. That's shit that went on before he went to jail.
No, this is what happened in Blackjack Army. The other Discord was Steve on Salty had it.
That makes no sense anyway, though.
The running joke here is that it was me, because Salty and I, when we would argue, he would sit there and be like, all right, Exo, you're just the best blackjack counter in the world.
So that's where that came from.
Mm-hmm. I still don't believe it because it gives me a shout out in the video, and that just doesn't make any fucking sense. But the more you think about it, Mike doesn't make any fucking sense.
Exactly, because his brain...
Because Ace 10 didn't come around until after Mike was already in jail. Right. So unless Salty's sitting there saying, hey, dude, there's this Ace 10 guy.
Unless he's been lurking on the Discords, but I doubt it, though.
No.
You know what kind of got my attention where he said, I never lose, I never lose, I never lose. But then again, he says he only goes to casinos for the year. So it's pretty hard
Right.
not to... You know what I mean? He's not playing every couple times a week or anything. He says he goes twice a year. It said,
the bullshit thing is that he always told everyone that, yeah, he lost too, but only when he was learning. Bullshit, dude. You think that you're going to learn how to count cards and you're only going to lose when you're just starting to figure things out? Give me a break.
that's horrible. That's horrible to teach people that don't know what's going on, really.
Oh my God. I mean, that's so unbelievably misleading. It's crazy.
Oh shit, I saw a comment before it get down. Solar Mags. My God. I saw that. Funny. Is he paying you to say that?
I actually do get the vibe that he is paying some of these motherfuckers.
He probably had Salty running through like 7 different accounts making fucking posts. Because remember, Salty still got to protect his brand.
Yeah,
Salty's investment. Deal me in. Can you talk right now? Say something. Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
All right, you had a question. Go ahead and ask your question. I'll answer for you. It's no big deal.
Well, I just want Johnny to answer. I don't know why.
Johnny's busy right now. Johnny doesn't need to answer it, but I can answer it for you. I can answer it for you because I'm the person that shut it down.
Go for it, man.
Go ahead and ask your question. Just throw it out there, and then I'll bring it back. Because not everybody here has heard about it, and I just want you to go ahead, like open forum, just ask it, and I'll answer it.
Yeah, the question is why did Johnny hook up with Mike and set up a GoFundMe account for some money to go to Johnny because he said he quit his job and to do the Discord shit.
Right. Okay, so you guys do remember that. It used to be spammed like 3 times a day, and I would sit there and bitch at people for it, right?
I don't. I wasn't around for that.
You weren't around for it. Do you guys remember that was getting posted every once in a while?
Yeah.
And that's at the beginning where I said everyone stopped using the @everyone tag because it got really annoying to log in, and I'd have 7, 8 different notifications from the same link. So Mike set it up for Johnny, right? Because he said, Johnny, you're going to run the Discord, right? And that's what their deal was. So Mike wanted to get his friends in on everything. Said, go ahead and set up a GoFundMe account. I'll tell everybody that you quit your job to run the Discord, yada, yada, yada. Here's the deal. And Johnny doesn't want to talk about this. I'll talk about it for Johnny. Johnny doesn't need money. Let's put it that way. Johnny lives out in a place that's really fucking nice. You got to have a shit ton of money to live there. He's got a shit ton of money. And the dude has been looked at his entire life like a fucking ATM. Okay? So what's the best kind of cover? So when Mike comes to Johnny and he says, hey Johnny, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to set up a GoFundMe. You set it up. I want you to do it. I'm going to tell everybody. Johnny's going to say, oh, okay, sure. Because it makes Johnny look like he's not a rich dude from the south of France with, like, nothing to do but hang out with some people to feel like a normal human being. Here's the problem with that. I felt that was dishonest, right? And I talked to Johnny about it, and he felt it was dishonest too, but it was something Mike wanted him to do, right? It was kind of Mike's ruse. So I went to Johnny and I said, listen, dude, we got to squash this. We can't, this is fucked up. It's not true. Because Johnny told me himself, he's like, it's not true. He's like, I didn't quit my job or anything. He's like, Mike told me to set it up, and I did. And then Mike and his buddies started posting the links. So I told him, I was like, listen, that's a little dishonest. It's not cool. Johnny and I had a heart-to-heart about it, and we talked about a couple of other things. And that shit got shut the fuck down real quick. Because one, nobody needs a fucking GoFundMe account for doing anything here. Nobody needs to make a fucking dime. And then two, nobody needs to use the fucking @everyone tag because it annoys the shit out of me. You know what I mean? That's what that was. Johnny can tell you right now he's editing a video. You can talk to him all you want. But that's what it was. I went to Johnny about that. I said, listen, dude, this is fucked. I know better. What's going on? And that's what it was. You want to talk to Mike. Mike's going to tell you the same thing, probably. I mean, he can lie about it all he wants, but that's what the deal was. Yeah, man, I get why you wanted to ask that question. Now, why you wanted to drag it back up, though, is a little concerning to me.
Can I have a GoFundMe page?
Well, I think the concern's on our side, not your guys' side. I mean, it's out there. Should have been talked about way before. Never was. And
honestly, I didn't think it needed to be talked about, and he certainly wasn't dodging a question.
Yeah. He's
I mean, this is...
You're still answering for him, though, Exo.
Does it matter?
Yeah, because he's the one that was involved in it. You're a better talker than Johnny, straight up.
He's editing a video right now, Jesus.
Hold on, straight. So you want to know why he set up a GoFundMe account for myself?
Well, I don't know. Then you guys moved over to some fucking other one. I don't know. Some other fucking crowdfunding shit. I don't know.
We didn't move anywhere. This is the original Discord. This has never changed.
No, I'm saying the GoFundMe, where the money was going to be
It never got moved over. It didn't get moved anywhere.
That's what was being talked about.
That's what was being told by some people that didn't know what was going on from the other side back when you guys had this other idea that you guys were against us. It's not the case.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to, there's no reason rehashing this. It's whatever. It ain't sort of, I just wanted to answer. And why
you didn't know, and I'm explaining it to you, and you said my explanation wasn't good enough. Let Johnny tell you.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, well, just to add on whatever Exo said. Now, yeah, Mike came up to me and said, set up a GoFundMe account. And for everything you're doing on Discord, I said, yeah, you know, why not? Nobody's going to figure out who I am or what I have. It's an easy way just to seem like a normal dude. That was pretty much it. But if you go back to every single post, I never put out my GoFundMe on the Discord. Other people did it.
Okay. Yeah.
Pretty much. Matter of fact, there was a guy, I think it was like JTW248 or some shit like that. He would log in like twice a day, spam the GoFundMe account, ask if Mike was here, and then he's like, oh, Mike's not here? Alright, I'll be back later. Fairly certain that was one of Mike's YouTube subscriber persons that only gave a shit about Mike, not the Discord.
Did Mike ever get on Discord? I wasn't here when Mike was on Discord.
Mike had a phone call with Johnny, and Johnny put him on Discord so he could talk to people. No. Mike couldn't figure out Discord himself.
No, before he went to jail, before all this went down, did he ever get on Discord?
Well, I mean, he was always on Discord before he went to jail.
Yeah, I wasn't here then. I got here after he went to jail.
Oh, okay, yeah. So a lot of the videos where he has the live streams and whatnot, those were from this Discord.
Okay, I didn't know if that was Twitch or what that was. I had no idea.
No, that was from here on this Discord.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is we're still here and we're all still trying to learn Blackjack and win against the casinos, and that's all that matters.
That's the damn truth right there, I tell you what.
That's what I'm here for.
The only reason I'm here is just to educate you people so you guys don't burn down all the games that I play. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, damn.
I mean, if Mike was an AP, then that would make me look like a fucking ancient Roman god kind of a deal, because he's got nothing compared to what I've got. And he's gonna be over there in fucking YouTube posting videos. First of all, APs don't post their fucking face at all.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Even if you've been banned, you don't post anything. Like Doc fucking, I'm pretty sure he wore like a long sleeve T-shirt to cover up some shit. You know what I mean? Like he posted probably more than anybody at that point, and I was like, Doc, are you sure you want to go that far? You know, Sparrow got fucking gloves on. He got a mask on.
He got real close.
He's sitting there. He's like, I'm gonna fucking hide myself.
Yeah. No AP would ever put them with a face on video. It would never.
Oriole Green Beckham, touchdown.
Put their name out there.
Yeah, we don't like giving any information about ourselves. It's not just because we're afraid of the casinos doing things like that. We just like the anonymity of being able to talk and communicate with you guys, but at the same point keeping a level of buffering between our real life.
Yeah.
And Mike coming out here and be like, what's up, guys? I'm gonna teach y'all how to card count because I fucked up and recorded it in a casino and they all started kicking me out, so now I can't do shit. Because he didn't get kicked out for card counting, that's for damn sure.
No, I don't think he got kicked out for card counting. I don't think he got kicked out for glasses either, though.
I'm pretty sure that's an instant kick if you try to record with video. If they caught you with surveillance glasses, you're done forever.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
They don't even let you use your phone at the table.
No, but you know what I think he got kicked out for?
Probably for being belligerent. Being honest.
Sort of. Not even that. I would say because the places he got kicked out of were super fucking sweaty to begin with. So what did he do? He basically openly talked about. I mean, did anyone see the video where he actually uses the word? He says like, "Oh, my shuffle tracking is not on par right now, or a little rusty," and then he actually says card counting at the table. And I think didn't someone say that? And I thought I saw this too. He's handing out his business card at the table. Yeah. And then while he's doing all that, he's wearing a Blackjack professional sweatshirt.
Dude, it was staged.
I mean, like, so you go to a casino and you do all of that stuff, and you go to a sweaty casino, like go to fucking Sam's Town, Tunica, go to Resorts, Tunica, go to.
Well, no, okay, so let me put another one in there. What was it? The Paragon video or the Kushada video where he's literally filming in their lobby without their consent?
Yeah, that too. So like that, I'm sure that doesn't help. But yeah,
you add in the spy glasses thing. How he's got to change his glasses so often because he's been recording for so long, dude.
Yeah. Well,
I promise. Well, and the thing is, for months those spy videos have been out, so they know he's been doing it. So they're looking for him when he comes on the property, and then they catch him doing it one time, he's done.
Oh,
I promise you, Pinnacle as a whole. You know all the Pinnacle properties. I promise you, they banned him for life on that alone.
Yeah, no, okay, so some of the bannings, I won't disagree with that, but I am saying, though, that the places where he got legit kicked out, for advantage play, I think it was because he just openly talked about that stuff, right. and so, like, the dumps that he played at first.
Yeah, that's like going to Bossier talking about being a card counter.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna kill cards right here at Bossier City, and then you get your fucking hands cut off.
Yeah, and I've actually told everyone the story how my friend got kicked out from play. He got backed off just for asking the pit boss if he can count cards. Now, like I said, he did that just for.
Now, granted, that's not smart.
No. He did it. He did it to fuck with them. He did it just for fun. But it just goes to prove, though, that that's what can happen. No, and did anyone see the live chat that he had on YouTube? He had a live chat on YouTube, and somebody, and I don't know if it was real or not, but there was actually somebody who was like, "Hey, my name is so-and-so from, Paragon Surveillance, or I'm a shift manager. We'll be monitoring your play when you come here tomorrow." Because he kept saying, "I'm going to be going to Paragon tomorrow, and I'm going to go fuck them up over there." And then somebody was like, "Hey, this is a tip off from Paragon, just let you know your actions will be monitored tomorrow."
Is that the one where they didn't even let him in?
I thought he got into Paragon.
Yeah, but
there was one that he couldn't even get in because he plays like at the casino next door or something.
I'll say this much: having been to every casino in the entire country between the Colorado Rockies and Appalachians, there is no casino next door to Paragon.
No, I know. I'm talking about completely separate. It was just a live YouTube chat that he had, and I actually was
it's probably when he was in Shreveport.
Oh, I don't know. I'm talking about Paragon.
Yeah, I know you are. The other guy's talking about where he wasn't allowed to go to a casino next door.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that was I think Boomtown and El Dorado. Like he went from one to the other and wasn't allowed in.
Yeah.
So if you 80s, will they actually take a security guard and walk you out, or are you allowed to walk yourself out if you think
at any point in security, regardless of what's going on, if you're 86 in any way, or if you're 86 yourself, or whatever you're talking about, security will always escort you out if you're not supposed to be on the property.
So could he have 86 himself and then started filming?
No, it's hard to 86 yourself, man. Yeah, I mean, you could 1888 bets off yourself, and then you go film. But see, the thing is with 1888 bets off, if you go on a property, you go to jail.
But what's the point of doing that?
There isn't one. No, he didn't do that.
No, for people who have gambling problems.
Yeah, that's for people with serious fucking problems.
mean, he got backed off probably for stupid reasons. And I'm sure places that legit, back him off for a very mild form of card counting. I mean, because Mike can't count. He can count the cards, and he can count the tags. I'm sure he could probably do like a somewhat of a true count conversion, barely. And I'm sure he can jump his bets around a little bit. That's not the point. The point is that every other one of his claims are completely fucking false. Like, you can't make the kind of money that he says that you can make from card counting. You can't fucking, make $30,000.
Yeah, it's like we had that conversation about his $210,000 claim. You just can't do that.
No, you can't. So that's the issue. And so it's not hard for him to get kicked out of like a dumpy ass casino. There's so many dumpy casinos that will kick you out for just, popping your bets up.
Yeah.
Every now and then, and then especially you can induce that by talking about it at the table, and then actually using terms like shuffle tracking and card counting and handing out business cards. Yeah, so then for sure you're going to get kicked out. I mean, like that's the given. So if I wanted to purposely get backed off somewhere, even using a small spread, I guarantee you I could find some dumpy ass casino, and I could probably even bet in opposition to the count, and I guarantee you I could still find a way to get backed off legitimately, if I really wanted to, So it wouldn't be too hard. So
how many casinos did we find in the U.S.?
Somebody. Okay, well, somebody.
You asked me about it, so there's probably right around 500, maybe a little bit more, but I'm undershooting that.
Okay, so somebody went on. Yeah, somebody posted on in 2014 commercial casinos was 500 and some odd, but then somebody else came on and posted and said something about 1785.
No,
and so
2,000 casinos per state. Think about that in like a per state basis. That'd be what, over 40 casinos per state? Missouri has like 6, 7.
I think
Kansas has 6 or 7.
No, Missouri has like 12, 14.
Well, okay, so Missouri has what? Ameristar, 2 Isla Capris. They probably have like about 8, 9 maybe.
Oh, I'm thinking about Illinois casinos too. Right. So there's 4 in St. Louis, and then there's 5 in Kansas.
Well, no, there's what? Lumiere is one of them. Ameristar is one of them. Hollywood's one of them.
River City.
And River City. And then you got Cape Girardeau's 5. You got Isle in
Crothersville?
Boonville.
Boonville.
Yeah, Boonville. So you got 6 there. Plus you got Harrah's, Ameristar, and Isle Capri in Kansas City. That's 9 plus St. Joe's 10. So you got 10.
You also got the ones in Crothersville and Cape Girardeau.
That's what I was talking about. Cape Girardeau's, Isle Capri. That was
that could be including slot houses and stuff, not having tables, I think. So just say
if that has card rooms, then maybe, but that's a lot of card rooms. It's probably not more than about 600 or 700.
My question is just call it 600, and he's up in he keeps saying 20 casinos, 28 casinos or something. So there's still 450 casinos to get out.
But there's not though, and that's the thing that guys like AceTen and I always worry about, because you've got surveillance, you've got the freaking OSN, you've got Red Hand, you've got Biometrica, you've got all these surveillance sharing companies and portfolios.
Check this out though. I have a friend personally, really high stakes player. Okay, his top bets are double thousands, double 1500s, where they'll take it. Okay.
Yep.
And this guy is the true definition of a road warrior, where he is literally on the road for months at a time. He will literally start in one area and just keep hitting every single play. He leaves no stone unturned, and he has he is true slash and burn type style. I'm talking he doesn't care where the fuck he's at. If the table max will let him do it, he'll go up double thousands, double 1500s. He won't even. He doesn't give 2 fucks.
Is his name Joe?
Why'd you have to throw a name out there?
Okay, so we're talking about Joe, aren't we?
Don't throw out a name though.
Why? Hey, listen, anybody could be a Joe. Doesn't mean his name's Joe.
Joe Schmo.
Could be Joe Schmo.
Yeah.
I know this guy.
Yeah, that guy is legit, okay? And I'm telling you, man, he's got a crazy amount of hours. I've already, when I spoke to him last time, which is not too long ago, he had a ton of fucking hours. He's been backed off probably well over 100 places. I don't know exactly. I didn't ask him the exact amount, but it's a lot though. And that guy, he's legit, man. And good guy too. He's really cool. So, but anyway, yeah, we should probably not say his name anymore.
That's fine. That's fine. But that is the guy we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I know stories of him.
Yeah, dude, he's cool though. But he's still playing, man. I mean, I just talked to him the other day. Like I texted him, and once again, he's literally just on the road right now, just hitting every fucking place, man. I won't say. I'm not really. I don't want to say who like what.
He's already had his name and his story told here on this Discord before by a pit boss.
Really?
Yeah.
So what are you saying? That like, does he go to each one and burns them out until he gets kicked out and then just goes?
Yeah, but you know what?
Oh yeah, he does. He's slash and burn.
Yeah.
Oh, but check this out though. Get this shit right.
The way to go? Is that the way to go though? Like
that's personal preference.
That's a debate for your own.
Yeah.
But check this out though. So he had so when I spoke to him like probably a couple weeks ago on the phone, he had already logged in well over 200 hours this year. Okay, and he said all 200 of those hours were all places that he's been backed off from before. He said none of them were new joints that he hasn't been to. So you can still recycle. I mean, like he had one nasty experience. He had an arrest. I'm not going to say where, but he had an arrest out in the middle of the country, and but still though he got all those hours by recycling. And like I said, man, this guy is the true fucking slash and burn guy. I mean, like
I know where he got arrested, and it's not far from me.
Yeah, you're right.
Is he a younger guy or like older?
Younger. He's he's a younger guy. Cool guy though. Definitely knows his shit for sure.
So he gave it some time and then just like recycled.
Yeah, I mean, but he travels everywhere. He's always on the road. Always on the road. I mean, every time I talk to him, he's almost never at home. The only couple times that I spoke with him, and he's like, yeah.
So basically, you get caught eventually down the road.
Yeah, the guy's legit, man. He actually he attended like the Blackjack ball and everything. You know, so he I mean, the dude's legit. All right, so he's not not a slouch by any means, and so that's his style. I mean, like I don't like
get him on the Discord.
He wouldn't come on here probably. No. He's not even really like on any of the forums.
Just
he belongs to I don't like it.
Out of mind.
Yeah.
By the way, the total for California was 67. The total for Nevada is 182.
Oh, okay.
I know Oklahoma's about 101 or so.
Okay.
So it's probably 600.
Yeah.
That'd be a really good number, because I mean the thing is, like, once you get past Denver, then you get nothing until you get to the Missouri River, the Ohio River, and all the riverboats.
Yeah.
So anyway, the whole point is that Michael Morgenstern is bullshit when he says that he can't play because he's been backed off from 26 casinos. Like I said, I know people, and just like the guy we were just talking about, okay, I know other people who play very similar to him, or maybe not as aggressive. He's probably one of the more aggressive guys that I know, but I know a few others who were even higher stakes than him on a bigger team.
But probably not nearly as big of a spread as he was going, because you know the story of him in that state where he got banned. That was a massive spread.
He does that everywhere, though, man. I mean, he will literally go from, like, one...
That's like a 375 to 1 spread, though.
Dude, he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit, man. He, like, literally, I mean, he will just go one hand, two hands at 25, and then, boom, just double thousands. If it's got a larger table max, he'll go double 1,500.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
He's like, he doesn't give two shit. And he makes a lot of money doing it, man. I mean, And yeah, he gets backed off a lot. Like he's probably
you heard the story how he offered the casino on the 7th day the option to take all the money back.
Yeah.
That was him.
For him to be unbanned. That's him.
In Oklahoma?
In Oklahoma.
Wasn't it 30?
Oh, yep. Yeah, you're right, dude. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, he did with 30 grand. He did.
Hey, that pit boss is in here.
Oh my.
That's badass, dude. That is badass.
The pit boss who caught him day one and said to his boss, "Hey, this dude's counting," and it went on for 6 days. That pit boss is here.
Wow.
That's balls.
Is he on chat right now?
No, he's not.
Oh. That's fucking crazy.
But
Yeah.
Talk to Sparrow. Sparrow can confirm too.
Okay. Well, I don't know what's been said about it, and I don't want to be the one that releases any kind of information, but I know the story, though. I know what happened. And
yeah, I mean,
the
pit boss told it exactly how everybody said it happened.
Yeah. Yeah, he's dangerous, man. Like, he's a
BTA guy.
Oh, yeah, I think so. Because he actually knows Colin Jones. He's
100% an apprenticeship guy.
Yeah, I don't know if he's on there anymore, though, because I asked him if he's on any of the forums. He says no. So
Well,
I know
he probably doesn't need to be on the road all the time, but he is, like, he's been to the classes and all that.
Oh, yeah, well, he actually helped film one of the classes recently, like a month ago. He was actually he was in Vegas, and he's, because he was talking about, and me and him have had discussions about Michael Morgenstern, like before I was on Discord, before any of all that stuff, him and I, man, he would just text me. He'd be like, dude, have you fucking seen this guy? Is this fucking real? Like, he's like, why is this guy upset me so much? And I'm like, I don't know, man. He upsets me too.
He upsets all of us simply because, like, this guy's he's a very low level guy. Even if he was an AP to some degree, he's so low level, low stakes that he shouldn't be in the position he's in.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's way more guys that needed to make YouTube long before Michael Morgenstern. And it's not even the fact of, like, his history and all that. There's plenty of guys with bad histories. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's just exploiting the fuck out of it because people will click on the YouTube link.
Dude, even SmallCap growth. You know SmallCap, right? Like, you've heard of him.
Oh, hell yes, I know SmallCap.
Dude, I mean, that guy was super high stakes. He was like double 2000s kind of thing. And now he made most of his money overseas because he couldn't play in the U.S. much anymore. But even that guy, though, was still able to lay down some action. I actually have a friend, you know, because we all kind of belong to the same sort of network of people, and he was actually sitting at the table over from him, and they were texting each other, and he watched him play. And he had a very interesting style of what he was doing to kind of get away with it for camouflage, man. It was fucking crazy. I think I've actually told the story here before. He was just
right.
I think I can actually say it now because he's actually retired now. He's not even playing. But he was what he was doing. He was just going double 200s, and this was in the South. All right, and he was a very very tolerant joint from what I considered to be a very tolerant joint. And he would just go from double 200s, and then as soon as he got any edge at all, just went straight to double 1200s immediately. Like there's no progress. There's no like
I get it.
No ramps. Just 200, 1200, 200, 1200. That's it.
Wow.
And of course now with that comes like a crazy amount of variance. But he was like on $1 million bankroll, so who the fuck cares? You know, like for him, it doesn't make any difference. You know, so as soon as he got any edge, just slam down the money.
So they couldn't really say anything, is what you're really saying.
They couldn't determine anything at first because he just wasn't behaving like a normal card counter. Because normal card counters will slowly start to ramp up their bet to their top bet eventually. Yeah. And so they moved their money up with the advantage. Well, he just, because his bankroll was so huge, though, it didn't matter. So he would just go straight to his top bets for that game, and that was it. And then he would just leave it there at any edge. And so he had the money to withhandle any kind of swings.
But when would he make that jump, though? Like +3, +5, +8?
Any edge. So any edge. So once he had like 0.5% or more, he popped it up. So if you're using high-low, which he was using Zen, but if you're using high-low and the house edge is 0.5%, So at +2 or 3 is when he would, because +2 would be 0.5% edge over the house. So as soon as he got to +2 or higher, double 1,200. And then if it just kept going up higher and higher, as long as it stayed above, the edge was over the house, he just kept it double 1,200 the whole time.
But what if he went in at like +6, +8? That's going in for the +2.
Oh, Jesus Christ! You come in max bet firing.
Yeah, but he just kept it at double 1,200 the whole time though. Like, he never
the whole time, even
the whole time.
12.
Didn't matter. No, it didn't matter. Yeah, like 12 because he doesn't want to show a ramp. He was this was his camouflage. So 1,200 was double 1,200s was going to be his max bet. So he just basically put out his max bet at any edge. Yeah, and then that was
there
it.
a reason for the 1,200 cap?
I'm sure there was probably
Bruin probably very likely.
Yeah, I'm sure he probably ran some simulations. He probably took his bankroll size into account, and he probably ran simulations, and he probably felt that was optimal. So I'm sure that's what maybe allowed him to do that.
Well, and to be fair, the games that he was playing were high limit games.
Yeah.
He stated his bankroll was $1 million and he could give two shits if he lost the money or not, so I'm just wondering why he capped at 1,200 times 2. You're talking about small cap, right? Whatever the storyline is for the guy. No, we're talking about small cap. Small cap didn't have $1 million bankroll, not at the time. It still doesn't. But we're talking about the 2 by 1,200 here, because he would be playing high limit. He'd be playing a black chip game. So he couldn't have a ridiculously high end bet, and that's kind of the tolerance that he felt was right there with 2 by 1,200. That's my mistake. I thought we were still referencing the guy with the $1 million bankroll. Well, he does now. I mean, he's been retired now. I mean, there was a time when he would go into Atlantic City, from what I remember, and he would get up to, I think, 2 by 3,000. But even so, $1 million bankroll. Yeah, if you're like what AceTen was talking about, there's so much variance when you only have 2 basic bets there. So you pick up a lot of variance with that. Of course, you're grinding on the percentages, of course, but there's so much variance there because it's a play-all. It's not a Wong in or anything. It's a play-all. Because the problem is casinos know which games are good, and they try to protect them. So they put up the mid-shoe entry signs, whatnot. So you want to play a great game like that, you got to start from the beginning. And you got to play every hand, otherwise you're not allowed to come in. I'm quite familiar.
So you don't recommend that to people that...
Oh, you can absolutely recommend it to if you're proficient enough, absolutely.
Really? But you have to have the bankroll.
Right. You can't come in with $300 and just expect to make anything. If you have $300, you should just buy a book.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just me being honest. Buy a book.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to getting these.
Or don't buy a book. Look in the book section. We got plenty of PDFs on it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
But if there's a book you don't have in the book section, buy it. Absolutely support it. I've got a shit ton of books. I have a library.
Yeah, that's cool. How big are the books? Like, are they like thick books or just?
Most of them, I think, probably range between about 155 pages to 220 pages.
Okay.
Some are significantly larger than others. Some are abhorrently small.
I think I'm at that point where I should just be grinding out some books.
Yeah, that'd probably be advisable.
It's funny too, like sometimes I just I'll play through the whole deck and everything, but obviously play the minimum until it goes up, but sometimes I win when it's negative too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it can happen. It's just you're playing up against a much bigger edge when you get into those negative counts.
Yeah, I mean, I was at one that was so high that, I mean, I got a blackjack, and the guy got a blackjack. I was hitting 20, he got 20. It was just kind of sucked, because I'm sitting down, I'm like, oh, here we go, fuck you. Let's do this, and then, I'm like, what the fuck? So at some point it becomes undesirable to get up that high, I would imagine. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. I think the true count was plus 13 or something, plus 14 with a deck left.
So you mean running count?
No.
13, 14 with a deck left?
No, the running count was 24, 25, and the true count was
14, wow.
Yeah, it was a true count because the dealer only cut one deck.
Was this on a 6-deck game?
Yes.
So if your running count was 24 and you had one deck left, you'd have a true count of 24.
No. One deck left and then one deck behind you. So 2 decks.
Okay, so it's 2 decks. Okay, so then you'd have a true count of 12.
Yeah, so it was like 12 or 13, dude. And like, I just like I said, I just kept going up with my bet, and I'm like, this is awesome, dude.
Well, that's why we have a top bet though, because you don't want to progressively bring your bet up. You want to bet only because the true count dictates that you bet. And like Mike's over there, he's like, bet 200. If you lose that, bet 300. No, fuck that. That's a bad idea. That's called martingale, and we don't do that. That's not how you make money.
Fuck that, yeah. But I'm saying, like, that count was so high and rich that the dealer was making out on it too, you know?
Right. Well, and that's the thing, is like I've tried to explain to people many times, you're never going to have the odds in your favor.
Yeah.
Not ever.
Yeah.
As long as the players have to act before the dealers, you're never going to have those odds.
Yeah, it's very true.
But you get into those ridiculous ass counts where you're just unicorn count. All you can do is keep your max bet out there and just pray to God that the dealer doesn't have a 10 with an ace under.
Yeah,
that's the worst thing. And we don't get a chance to talk about like the worst fucking feelings ever. Is when that fucking dealer has a 10 with an ace under because you can't take insurance on it because you would if it was the other way around.
Exactly, dude. I had Blackjack and he's showing a 10, and I had $1,000 up there, and that's big for me. And I got Blackjack. Everyone's fucking hooting and hollering, dude. And then like I see the dealer like flip the fucking card over. I was like, you motherfucker! I couldn't even take even money. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's the worst, man.
So bad. I went from fucking the man to fucking to nothing, dude. And like,
but I will say $1,000 top bet. That's a big bet.
Yeah, well, like I said, the count I just kept progressively going up, dude. And I'm like, all right. It was like probably one hand left, and I was like, fucking, put $1,000 up there. I was like, fuck, hit a Blackjack, dude. And I felt like the fucking man, dude. And then that fucking guy flipped the Blackjack. It was fucking sucked. I still made out wicked good, though. But just wild how things work. I'm actually going to be coming into some money pretty soon. Like this big claim opened up from work and stuff, so I have like a huge bankroll, and I don't have any bills or anything, so I don't know what to do.
I would invest it first and foremost. I'd invest it.
Invest it.
Hell yeah, invest it. The whole reason that I even am in AP is simply to put money away for when I retire.
Exactly. I want to put some money away.
Like there's dumbass people who will be like, man, I'm gonna go buy a sports car. I'm gonna go fucking.
No, yeah, I don't.
I'm gonna go to Vegas and have a fucking party. No, motherfucker. I was.
You're to marry me.
Exactly. No, I'm gonna fucking go and put it in my 401k or my trading account or my investing account. I'll roll a CD over. It doesn't fucking matter. I've got CDs I've created 9 years ago that have just been rolling over with the original amount over and over and over because I don't know what to do with it.
Same here, yeah. I got 2 kids, so I want to make sure they go to college.
Exactly.
I'm not looking to fucking. I'm not no fancy guy at all, dude. Like,
I know what you can do with it.
I don't have any bills.
Clint's over here like, you can give it to me real quick.
You can buy that book and not have to work no more.
Yeah, if you're gonna play blackjack with it though, just buy some software man and buy a good book, and then study before you can walk into a casino though.
Yeah.
Look at Johnny, Keno it.
Johnny would say Keno because Johnny loves Keno.
Fuck that.
Johnny, you want me to buy you some Powerball tickets and mail them to you?
Hey, but even if I have a big bankroll, I could still go in with like $500 and just play a little bit. I don't have to do nothing crazy with it. You know what I mean? If I'm good at
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, you decide what your bankroll is going to be, and then you decide the game you're going to play from there.
Yeah.
You decide your tolerance for risk of ruin. You decide your index plays in terms of whether you're not risk averse or whether or not you're, risk tolerant. And then you decide everything from there. And the thing is, like AceTen's talking about, that software is going to help you figure that shit out.
Yeah.
They got software for that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Coop's got an app coming. He's already got an app in development, but Coop's got his app. Norm's got his software.
Okay. Yeah. If you go on my Discord, I have like a little section that shows what software to get. Someone will give it to you. You can take a look. It just got the information on where you can purchase it and what software does what. It has like an explanation for what is for what, basically. So CVCX is for like adjusting, looking for optimal bet ramps and figuring out your risk of ruin.
Which honestly, that is probably the most important.
Oh, it's absolutely the most important. I would say as a beginner, CBBJ is probably going to be one
to train yourself.
Just to train yourself, but then after you actually have trained yourself and you're actually out there playing, the CVCX, you will use that. I use that all the time. I'm simming games all the time before I go out, unless it's a game that I've hit multiple times, and if my bankroll is still above a certain point, then I know exactly how I'm going to attack it no matter what. But if I'm always coming up across like a new game or something with shitty penetration, and I'm like, okay, or if my bankroll took a huge hit, I'm like, okay, let's see what I can afford to do here, and blah, blah, blah. So
so you got to kind of regroup after certain situations.
Right. Yeah, because the software will tell you exactly like what your risk is going to be, what the optimal bet spread is going to be, and then you can even take the optimal bet spread and then compare it against like a custom bet spread, and you can see how that's going to change your EV, how it's going to change your risk of ruin, and all those things. You can kind of decide what you feel like is going to be the right way to go from there. So,
Is it worth tracking your plays every session or night?
I do. Yeah, I think it's important. I do. I mean, I track my EV and my sessions, win, loss, buy-ins. Yeah, the notes. Anytime a casino backs me off, I notate it. I notate what I was wearing when I got backed off. Yep. Just all I knows.
I thought of the basic strategy and knowing how to count cards. I was like, I'm fucking good. This is fucking. There's so much more out there.
Oh yeah.
So much. That's good. I'm glad I fucking hooked up with this. I'm looking at this like probably full time because my body is so beat up. That's what I'm getting the money from. So if my bankroll is going to be probably like 100,000. So
then
your bankroll is going to be what?
Probably 100,000.
Yeah, then you can afford. I would probably.
I'm not trying to be a fucking hard ass with these guys.
No, you could afford pretty large bets with it. It depends on if your bankroll is replenishable or non-replenishable. Because
exactly.
When I was on a low six-figure bankroll, I still kept it at like double 500 as my max. But I live off my bankroll though, so there's a whole lot more risk for me involved compared to somebody like I know someone else who was on a low six-figure bankroll as well, but he was going up to double thousands. But he doesn't live off his bankroll though.
Yeah, see, I'm going to be living off. I'm already the past few months I've been living off. But like I got a big bankroll yet, so what I've been doing is just going in with like $300, and then I turn that into a couple hundred or a couple thousand a couple times. So I'm pretty smart with money. I own my own business for many years. It's good. So. But I'm only 30, and like the stuff that I used to do in construction just like killed your body. I need surgeries and all that stuff. So I'm trying to think of something that I could do and I could study. So yeah, I'm gonna get like a pretty big settlement. Obviously, I'm not gonna take the whole settlement and say that's my bankroll. I'm gonna do what I need to do with it. I have no problem playing out of sight, out of mind with $500 and try to make $500 every day or something. I have no problem with that. I got the time.
$500 a day is phenomenal, but never focus on a win or a loss, man.
Yeah, I think I've said this before. I think we need to have like a special voice chat that kind of discusses certain topics. And I think one of those topics should be EV. Because
money management.
Yeah, money management, but more so EV, because I think I've heard so many people on these Discords over the last month or so, they kind of like justify, certain actions based on like short-term results, and I think there's a lot of misconceptions. And so I think if everyone understood what EV is and how it works, and if everyone understood standard deviation and if they understood variance, I think they would probably approach the game a lot differently. And they would probably be a little bit more mindful to certain things. So I think that's something that should definitely be discussed for sure.
So even though if I go in on a session with $500, but I play perfectly and I end up breaking even or losing, that's still a good day. I gotta put in my mind that I played the best that I can play.
Yeah, because I mean,
but I can't get not know it. Try to do something different. You gotta keep staying the same.
It depends on what you're spreading to. I think going into a casino with $500 is way too low, in my opinion. I would say. $2,000.
What's that? I don't walk in without at least $2,000.
Yeah,
That's only for certain things, man. There's times I walk in with 7 or 8 or 9.
Yeah. For me, it's always 10, but that's for just straight card counting. Though that's not like machine.
Yeah, but your spread's way bigger than mine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, it's straight card counting. It's not for machine play or something, and it's not for low stakes blackjack. It's my top bets are like double fours, double 500. So you're betting at your top bet is 800 to 1,000 a round. So
right.
Is that where you're going in? So
Yeah, because if you're at double fours, my thing is always to take 10 top bets with you.
I mean, I had some nasty shit happen, man, in a very short amount of time. Where just horrible swings, but also good ones too. But I mean, I've seen some really crazy shit happen. So
you're willing to lose that $10,000, right? Is that
what of course? Hell yeah. Oh, and I have. I mean, I've walked in and I've lost 20,000.
My favorite place to go is his biggest loss.
Oh my god, it still hurts. Yeah, I mean, I walk in with every intent. You don't go in there thinking I'm going to lose it. You go in there prepared. Yeah. Like, you go there knowing that, like, if you're in a good situation, and if you're in an advantageous situation, I mean, because there's no such thing as a win-or-loss stock, really, for me, except for, like, a few different reasons, which is either, you're about to get back off.
Almost always heat.
Yeah, it's either, you're about to get back off, you either run out of money, or you're playing anonymously and you don't want to CTR and give up your name. Or, or you're so tired that you're fatigued and you're going to start making mistakes. So
yeah, that's what I found out too. Like, after like 10 hours, 8 hours or so, I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, I wish I was like 8 or 10 hours straight. Yeah,
but honestly, I've been going in with $300, and I'm still learning, because I'm not going to go in there and spend all my money if I'm still learning. I want to go in there.
And I agree with that. But what I am saying though is that variance can be a bitch, and there's been times like I can think of like one of my bigger winning trips ever. For just for straight card counting, over like a 8 hours worth of play over like a few days, I won like over 22,000, I think. And I want to say that the most I bought in for was like $500. Like, meaning like I bought in for 500 at one joint and ran that 500 really quick up to like 4,000 or 5,000. And so I guess if you think about it, I guess you could say that I took that 4,000 or 5,000 and played with that for the rest of the trip and basically ran it up to 22,000. So I brought like 30 with me on that trip. Yeah. But I didn't need it though. Like, I didn't need more than 500 of it basically. But then there's been other trips where I brought like 30 with me and I lost like 20 of it and then won most of it back and then lost some of it again. And it's just like, you just don't know how it, variance is a bitch, man. I mean, it can go in either direction.
So what happens if you took your $10,000?
Mm-hmm.
Like you just said, that $500 buy-in. Just say you're up $5,000. Now, now you got $5,000 kind of in profit. So do you take that $10,000 and pretend it's not there? Like, you're not going to go in there. You're just going to play with that money. Or you're going to, like, if you lose that $5,000, are you going to keep continuing with that $10,000 that you have?
Oh yeah, of course. I'll keep playing, man. I mean, listen, you should never set a stop limit. I mean, because like a stop limit is it doesn't make sense. Think about it. Yeah. You are a card counter. You're striving for EV. You're trying to get a theoretical dollar amount. Okay, so short-term results have no meaning whatsoever. It has no significance. Like, if somebody goes into the casino and they tell me they win like $8,000 like within an hour, that doesn't impress me. Yeah. Just like if somebody says they go into the casino and they lose to $8,000, it doesn't matter. Like none of those things have any significance to me. Like, and I've had people who come up to me, oh man, I won like $7,000. It doesn't impress me because you know what it really was is variance. I mean, you got lucky. I've got lucky. Everyone gets lucky every once in a while. But the point is that like so. The trip that I was talking about where I won like $22,000, you know what my EV for that trip really was? It was like $800. Because and especially on that trip because the cuts were so bad, my EV was usually like with top bets of $400 or $500, double 4 or 5s. Usually my EV is like around 175 to 200 on a shoe game, maybe 250 if it's on a really good shoe game, and on a double deck game it can go $300-$400 an hour, but most of the time though it's going to be like in the 175-ish range on average. Okay, so that but the games that I was playing was shitty cut stuff, so my most EV was $100 an hour. So I played only a little over 8 hours for that whole trip. Yeah. And the only reason I quit stopping was because that's the other reason that was the only time I would say that it would be wise to stop is if you start winning above the casino's threshold, like comfort level. Yeah. Like, so losing is one thing, because losing, you know, nothing, there's no better cover sometimes than losing. Yeah, exactly, yeah. But when you win, like, you know, there was a couple places where I just, like, I got insanely lucky where I hit him for one shoe and I win, like, 5,000 immediately. There was another place I went to, and I played for 45 minutes and I won, like, 7,300. I was like, fuck. So, you know, if you stick around, and if the place is, especially if the place is not tolerant. Now, if it's tolerant, then you keep playing. If it's not tolerant, though, then you probably should quit because you're going to get backed off. And actually, that happened to me at another place. I won like 5,500 or 5,700 or something in like one shoe, and then this shift manager comes in, and he's staring at me so hard, it's very uncomfortable. Yeah. Like he was, and then as soon as I left, so I got the message, and I was like, fuck it, I'm leaving. And as soon as I left, of course, he walked out right with me. And I thought he was actually about to back me up as we were walking out, and I just started walking faster, and I turned the corner, but then he just kind of kept going into the back area.
You see Ace over there, he's just knees to chest running out the door. He's like, you won't catch me this time.
Oh, man.
Overseas. Oh, there it is. Overseas.
Man, I've done that in Vegas where I'm like almost like I'm on the verge of sprinting. Like I get done and I'm like down like 3,000-4,000, and then all of a sudden I hit like a really hot shoe and I win everything back plus like another couple grand on top. And I go to cash out some of my chips, not all of them. I went just to go cash out like 1,500 or 2,000. I kept it below their threshold, and then they're like, we can't cash out with your ID, you know, because she got a phone call at the cage. I'm like, fuck. And then I see a pit boss or shift manager. He starts walking towards me like really fast, and I'm like, man, I'm like booking it now, and I'm like looking for the nearest exit. I'm lost in this place. I'm like, where's the fucking door? And he's following me, man. And then I get out of the casino only to realize, and this property's big, only to realize that I'm on the complete opposite end of where I parked, and I'm like, fuck. So I walk around the entire casino, and guess who's driving around near my car by the time I get there? It's casino security, and they're like, they stop in front of my car. I think they're writing down my license plate, and I left my friend inside the casino. All right, I'll just say I was at Rio. Okay, this is a long time ago.
Of course, it was Rio. Rio's like one of the only places that'll legitimately send an officer out to the car to write down your fucking license plate number.
Well, the fucked up thing was that I had to get out of there quick because, you know, Rio Caesars is known for trespassing people on their foot fence. Okay, they will trespass your ass. Okay, so I'm just trying to get out of there as fast as I can. I get in my car, and it's a rental, so I don't give a shit if they write down my license plate, even if they could maybe track it to me, whatever. Okay, and so I start driving, and I get off the phone my friend, I'm like, dude, where you at? He's like, oh, I'm cashing out my chips. I'm like, dude, I told you I left. I was like, they're about to back me up. Like, why didn't you come out? He's like, oh, I was like, dude, security's by my car. I'm driving away. I'm like, I got to get out of here. Meet me at the next parking lot. Well, I got turned around, and he had to walk all the way from Rio. You guys know where that's at. Yeah, he had to walk under the overpass, and he walked from Rio to Caesar's Palace. So
That's fucked. That is so fucked.
So I just met him at Caesar's. I'm like, dude, what the fuck took you so long? Like, this guy, he was so clueless. Like, he was kind of just starting to get into counting cards, but he wasn't really, he wasn't really.
Right, he couldn't walk over the Palms or Wall Street.
I kept getting turned around, and I ended up going like the wrong way, and I was like, oh shit! I was like, dude, I'm already over the bridge now. And then he's like, all right, I'm walking. I was like, just walk towards the strip, and I'll pick you up. I just picked him up at Caesar's, and then we went from there. So,
Do you pocket the chips when you're up like that?
Oh yeah, I always no. I walk away with the chips. Like, as a matter of fact, there's a place that I still have a bunch of chips. I have like $5,000 in chips from like a place that I was at a month ago, and I still need to go. It's a little far from me, so I need to go back and cash them out still and whatever. But
I'm saying when you're sitting there.
Oh yeah, like I try to put like some of the chips away, because it kind of startles some, it might startle some of the casino employees if they look at your side of the table and there's a mountain of chips. Yeah. They might start paying attention more. So I typically try to maybe put some of the higher denomination ones out of the way, even though those are the ones that are tracked. If you don't want to have like 40 fucking black chips stacked in front of you plus greens, and so I might try to take like 1,000 or 1,500 of those black chips and pocket them, so just kind of put them out of sight. Yeah. But you're not going to be fooling anyone though, too. No. Because they'll be tracking those chips.
Yeah.
So,
but would it be wise to, when say the shoe's over and you're still going to play, but go cash in some chips and come back? Or, not that it makes probably any difference.
There's a guy overseas.
Somebody asked me, how do you handle heat, or do you just leave? Well, it depends on what kind of heat it is. If you know the back off is coming,
if you know back off's coming, just get up and leave.
Get out as quick as you can. Like, don't cash out.
Don't take your shit and leave.
And then if you
don't run, but if you got to, then run.
What happens if you get to know, like I know the pit bosses, I know like the dealers. I know that doesn't really mean shit.
Just handle it with discretion, because honestly, if they know you and you know them, then you're done, right?
Well,
so make it pleasant for everyone.
Here's the thing, though,
just
get
up and get out.
You'll start to realize, if any of you guys are regulars, let's say that you guys actually start taking this, seriously, you start going into the card counter endeavors, and you actually start betting up more money, you'll be surprised how quickly casino's attitude will change towards you. There have been a lot of times where casino shift boss and pit bosses and employees, used to be very nice with me, that used to joke around with me and everything. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, once word got around what was really happening, these people will turn cold on you. They will pretend like they don't know you. They will.
Right. At the end of the day, it's their job.
Yeah. I understand.
They're gonna choose their livelihood over yours always.
Yeah, but I know a couple of dealers that actually play at different places and do it. So it's like,
sure.
I know the dealers don't come.
That's the nitty gritty of it. Like, if you play smaller stakes longevity game like I do, you don't have to worry about it.
That's what they tell me to do. Just keep playing. Don't make a scene. Just keep playing and keep making money every day or every week.
If you do, just don't take it over the top. There is a threshold of tolerance, and you have to fill out that tolerance.
But at first, this was probably like a year ago. I was using the casino to kill time, and I knew a little bit about blackjack, but I spent so much money. Probably that's why they're nice to me and shit, because I come in all the time and just play, but I was just playing. I was gambling.
Right.
But now, the last couple of months, I've been actually winning. So it's like,
if you're playing small stakes, though, I don't think you have anything to worry about. If your top bets are below, even $200, I don't think you have a whole lot to worry about, really. Once your top bets start getting into $300-$400 range, you're going to start getting a whole lot more attention. Once it gets to 500 and more, then you're definitely, it's going to be pretty short-lived no matter where you go. There's $500. Yeah, $500. Yeah, it's not a lot, but I mean, it's a lot for, you know, it doesn't look normal, that's all. I mean, like, you see, especially, like, you know, my spreads are big. I mean, sometimes they are. I'm aggressive, but I like that style, though. I don't know. I'm more of a, that's kind of my style. I just get out, you know, get in, get out. It's not necessarily that good for longevity, though. But that's also why I'm a huge proponent of, like, search for tolerance, though, too. See, I specifically look for places that will take that action specifically, though. Like, I will not, if I go to a town, and if I know that that whole town is littered with a bunch of dumpy-ass casinos, but there's one place that will take all the action, I will just put all of my focus into that one casino. I won't even look at the other ones, you know?
So you're researching casinos, too?
There's a way of doing it, like, yes. I mean, the way you can do it, you can either do it based on, like, you know, the casino's revenue, and there's other correlations, like, you know, some casinos have, like, really high table limits.
Yeah.
Typically, outside of Vegas, of course, okay, but typically, like, anywhere else in the country, high table limits might indicate possibly that they're fairly tolerant, and then, of course, the casino's revenue, if their revenue is much higher than everyone else's, will also possibly show that they are tolerant. And then, of course, the people who are betting around you, if everyone, you know, if you see some bigger action around you, that's going to also determine that they're fairly tolerant and they take action well. So once you figure that out, like let's say you go to a new town and you want to kind of feel the place out, you can go unrated and you can, let's say you go to a casino town that has like 7, 8 casinos. You can go to each casino and you start small and you start just slowly working your way up to bigger bets, and then just start to notate at what point do they start looking uncomfortable, and at what point do they look like they're starting to sweat you. And so you start, you know, really small at first, and then just keep pushing it a little bit more and more and more. So you keep slowly just pushing their buttons until you kind of figure out what's the trigger point. And then once you notate all that stuff, you leave town, then you come back. And then you then you hit it hard on the next trip where, you know, you say, okay, these places started sweating the fuck out of me when I got to $150 bets, but this place barely bat an eye at me, and I was betting double 500s here, so I'm going to focus on this place now, and I'm not even going to look at these other places anymore, you know, and so that's how you can test out a new market. And then other ways, it's just networking. People, you know, you network with people who have similar stakes to yours, and so you just ask them, be like, hey, so have you played here, there, okay, well, I can tell you information on my casinos, you tell me yours, and tell me who takes the best action. And so, you know, and I have a whole group of people that I network with, and so if I'm heading down south, I know exactly who I need to contact there, and if I'm heading north, and I know exactly who I need to contact over there. If I'm heading to Vegas, I have a whole group of Vegas people that I know who to talk to, and then vice versa. And so if I'm heading out east, I have a bunch of friends out in the east side who can tell me exactly where to go and where to stay out of. Yeah. And so, you know, there's a whole network, a group of people that you can do that with as well. So it doesn't all have to be, you know, tested on your own. But if you, like I said, if you happen to go in a place, or you could just say, fuck it. If it's a place that you know you're never going to go back to, then you could just fucking set the place on fire on the first shoe that you see and just hope for the best.
Yeah. I got it pretty good because, I don't know, I'm from Northeast. So I have the Foxwoods, I have Mohegan. All within 45 minutes. So what I do is, I haven't played there yet. I've been playing at a smaller one called Twin River. I don't know if you heard of that, but...
Right. Yeah. I've heard of that place.
Yeah, so it's nothing big. They just had table games like a couple years ago. But it's a place where it's different for me. I got to know everybody and stuff, and now I can just keep practicing. And then I can be like, all right, I'm going to go to Foxwoods and bring 10 grand with me, and let's get this and stuff, you know?
Now, be careful at Foxwoods and stuff. I mean, those places, by the way, have some of the best technology in terms of, like, facial recognition, license plate scanning, and of course, when you're playing at the dumps, those are the places that you really want to be careful because, and this is actually this is not a new concept. This is actually something that if anyone's ever listened to the Gambling with an Edge episodes with like SmallCap growth. I mean, the one thing he always said was he said the exact same things that pretty much I'm saying. Yep. But he did it. But he said it before me, though. You know, and so, so it's safe to say I got a lot of my ideas from guys like him.
Yeah, and I actually know a couple buddies that got booted out of Foxwoods for they can play poker. They go to play poker, but they started counting cards and they can't play poker there anymore.
Anyone hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. He would just he would just go. He said that he's lost a lot of good places to play because he played at the sweatshop, and so because he would spread his action around all the casinos in one town, and when in all reality, he had a great thing going with the super tolerant casino, but everything got fucked when he went to the shitty casino, and then they flyer him, and then when you get flyered, by the way, even if the place is tolerant, they're not going to tolerate you anymore now. And so you actually will shoot yourself in the foot. So if you go to a casino town, Tunica is actually a great example. Okay, no big secrets over there. Okay, so you go to Tunica. What's the tolerant casino over there? Horseshoe. Horseshoe is by far the most tolerant casino in the town of Tunica. The second one is Gold Strike, and then the other 6 are just complete dumps, right? So if I go to Tunica, I would probably want to play almost exclusively at Horseshoe, fade all my action over there, maybe a little bit at Gold Strike, okay? And then you'll be able to play all week or all weekend or whatever for a few days, unless you're really rubbing it in their face. And then you're good to go. But if I go to Tunica and I play maybe 30 minutes at Horseshoe, 30 minutes at Gold Strike, and then I fucking creep into resorts, and then I play 30 minutes there, and then they back me off, and then they flyer me now.
Yeah.
Now I go back to my tolerant, candy shop over at Horseshoe, and all of a sudden now I can no longer play there because I've been flyered from resorts.
Yeah.
You understand? So you will fuck yourself by going to the shit casino. Even though Horseshoe is tolerant, they're not so tolerant to where they're going to ignore a flyer from another casino.
Oh, exactly, yeah.
And so that's what I'm talking about.
So Matty, you're talking about Twin River in Rhode Island, right?
Rhode Island, yeah.
Yeah. Be careful there.
Really?
I know at least 24 APs who have been kicked out of there.
Really?
Machine APs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they do not like AP there at all.
Yeah, because when I was losing for 6-8 months, losing, and then I was like, fuck this. I learned how to play and everything. And like I said, when we got both Blackjacks that time, I had 500 up there. The next time I came in, I had no problems, like catching the chips, left, whatever. But the next time I came in and started playing, there was like a pit boss, or maybe a crew member, I don't know, but out of, behind the tables. Not really, in the set where the computers are, but there was a guy sitting there. Maybe he was watching me, maybe he was just there at the same time, but I was like, what the heck? It just felt weird. It never happened before.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about some of those racinos, man, because if I'm not mistaken, Twin River's a racino. And there's something about those, dumpy racinos, man, that they just don't tolerate anything.
Yeah. So what do you recommend? Just kind of keep playing there and just keep staying under the radar?
So I'd play it elsewhere, man. I mean, you can go to Twin Rivers. Is there a possibility you can get out to Pennsylvania?
Yeah, I mean, I'm good. Once I get this money, I'm planning on.
Yeah, no, I'd probably play out Sands and if I were out towards.
I know Pennsylvania is pretty OSN happy.
They are, but if you play a low stakes game, they don't care.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, you play low stakes almost anywhere, you should be okay. But once you start, OSN's a fucking bitch, man. They I don't know. It just it can fuck up a lot of things for you. So that's all I'll say.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm here for the long term. I'm here for everything. So I don't want to I'm not really about that anyways. Walking into a place with 20 grand,
Right.
I'd rather try to turn 500 into a couple thousand and just hit it the next day or I don't know. If that's
Yeah, I mean, if you get a big bankroll going, you're just going to want to rotate your play through a pretty large swath area. I mean, dude, I do this professionally, and I probably play in 18 states.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's awesome.
You know what I mean? Like I went through on my last road trip. I think I went through 9 states.
Yep. And you give them the player's card?
Yes, it's nothing Arizona.
Oh yeah, a lot of places I will use player's card. Absolutely.
Okay, so there's nothing wrong with using the player's card.
No, there is. I mean, if you're at a normal place where you're burning them down, if you burn anything down, you don't want to have player's card at all. You don't want to give them that information.
Yeah.
No. That being said, a lot of places, it's a red flag if you don't have one or you refuse to get one.
Yeah. That's why my name is blasted all over the fucking database, though, too, because, you know, I did play rated a lot in my home area, which I didn't know that they were so OSN happy. I come to find out, to my, you know, unfortunately they are. And so even when I quit playing rated, the damage was done by that time. It was too late. Like,
the home turf just isn't that tolerable anyways, simply because of the legislation that protects it.
Yeah, I recommend just not even, when I start going to different places, don't even bother with them.
I would probably, like where you're at, Maddie, you have so many really good casinos around you that you could skip a casino for 2 weeks and not play there. You have so many, you could work every day and get in 8 to 10 hour shifts and not be at another casino for 2 more weeks. So I mean, you could fly right under the radar.
Yeah.
It depends on, like, what you're trying to do as well, what you're trying to accomplish, because, like, a lot of things that pros talk about, which I didn't understand when I first started. They always say, save your real name for really good stuff. And I never understood what that meant. Like, I was always thinking blackjack, but I mean,
no.
But, like, think about the promotion, though, that, like, Exo, you were talking about with, like, the slot play, you know, on every blackjack, right? So that's a perfect example. So that's not a count game. That is just a game that you are milking the promotion. And so if you go to play that promotion and you start playing rated and they look you up and they see that you are in a bunch of databases, they're not going to give a shit what you're doing on that table particularly.
Yeah.
But once they realize that you're an advantage player, they're going to want you off that table no matter what you're doing. And so if you play rated, you're going to end up in the database. Almost every professional I know is in the database.
Honestly, there's a lot of different ways to skin a cat on that one.
No,
the guys who play big spreads always end up in the database. Period. There's a lot of professionals with low or mid-stake spreads that just milk them indefinitely. But it's a different type of play. It's a different style of play from what you might do. I might play the place for 3 months on a low-stake spread just to get them set up before I ever even hit them hard.
Yeah, I'm just talking about like the big spread count guys,
if you're a big spread counter, you don't want any information out. Period. Like I couldn't even think of a good promotion to give that would be worth giving your information out at that point. Because once you give it out once and burn a place down like that, you're going to be gone from everywhere.
Yeah.
So you just stay out of the radar.
Hold on, there's a lot of backbeat there.
Yeah, you should always stay on the radar. That's the best way to do everything.
Don't fuck up a good thing, right?
But, you know, it depends on what you're doing, because there's, like, if you're trying to count cards exclusively to make a good amount of money, right? There's only a couple ways to do it. All right, you know, you're either going to just grind out a fuck ton of hours at low stakes.
Yep.
And you're going to have to put in a shit ton of hours.
Yep.
And so you can rack, because it's like an hourly. That's how you should look at this. Okay?
Exactly.
So
That's how I do.
Blackjack is a way to make an hourly wage. You can either make $20 an hour, and you can, you know, play 100 hours. Okay. And so when you do that, you make $2,000.
Yep.
Or you can make like $300 an hour, and then make the same $2,000. Okay, you're gonna have to, you know, play like almost 7 hours.
Yeah.
So
that's how I look at it.
You understand? So, but now here, there's pros and cons to both of those approaches. Okay, so the one approach where you play 100 hours versus 7, The 100 hours, you're going to be exposing yourself quite a bit, and you're getting that. A lot of time. Chances are you're going to only have to play 7 hours, so you get in there, you go to a few different places and put in a little bit of time here and there, but in order to make $300 an hour, especially in shoe games, you got to be topping out at like double thousands. So you're going to be fucking nuclear just based on your top bets and your spreads. So, in either way, I think you have to kind of find a happy median or find what works for you best, or everything is circumstantial. Are you able to travel a bunch? Yeah. Are you, or are you kind of confined to just playing in your state or within your 5-hour radius, or are you going to be playing rated? Are you going to be playing unrated? Are you going to have a large enough bankroll to have big top bets to where you can have $300 an hour, or are you going to have a lower bankroll to where you can only afford to make like $20 an hour? I mean, like, there's so many different like variables that you have to consider.
I've always grinded my whole life. I mean, I'm only 30 now, but I've grinded for like 16 years.
Well, it's like we were just talking the other day about how the EV that I was getting from a promotion simply on a Tuesday was about $22 an hour just from the promotion. And you can do that with total cover, total anonymity. Like you'd want to play rated in that sense because you're going to make money off of the promotion itself, playing a break-even game, where you can make $22 an hour. Some people are good with $22 an hour. Like on a Tuesday, that's a great day for me to make $22 an hour. Love that. To invest on your own properties to at least find out if it's worthwhile to use a particular property in a certain way. Because if it's not, you don't want to give them your info.
Yeah. See, I'm 30 years old, and like I'm looking to do this for 20 years if I could. Like I really want to master everything.
And by the way, I actually know a number of guys, not too many, but I know actually a number of guys who use fairly big spreads or big top bets, and they've been doing it for like a couple decades. Oh yeah, there's some places that you've got a pretty decent in to where you can play. Like SmallCap Road, he had a great game that he could play religiously over and over and over for a long time. Yeah, there was one place he got finally 86 from casino that I like personally, and I have a bunch of chips I got to go cash out there eventually one of these days. And eventually the only reason he got 86 was because he was playing on a tool. Okay, for those who don't know. Oh man, he was playing on like a fake player's card. And that's not why they even caught him. Okay, the only reason he finally like just kind of gave up because he had like $80,000 in chips that he had to cash out, and he just he kept accumulating chips. So finally, he was just like, "All right, hey guys, FYI, my name's not really so and so. It's actually yada yada, and so I just need you guys to cash my chips. Here's my social. Can you just cash me out?" And they're like, okay. And by the way, you can't play here anymore. He's like, that's cool. I just need to cash these chips because he's been hitting them for so long, for so hard, and literally just couldn't do anything with the chips anymore. He was just accumulating too much chips, and so that was one of the stories. That was a good one, but yeah, that guy's a character, man.
Yeah. I gotta go pick up my kids, but I really appreciate it.
So I just talked with Steve-O, and he has an idea he wants to do.
Okay.
I need you to back me. I need you to back me up in July, Exo.
About what?
Oh, I'm gonna see how gangster he is. I'm calling that motherfucker out in a boxing ring.
Oh shit! Do it.
What's he weigh? 210, 205?
Honestly, I put him probably right around 185, 195.
Okay, because my fighting weight's 145, 155. I'm going to need Mario to help me beef up a little bit.
Oh, I'm sure Mario will inject you all day.
We want 20,000 subscribers. I will get in somebody's truck. We are going to drive down there, I'm gonna get in the ring, and also I'm gonna get the fucking money he owes somebody at the same time.
Yeah, okay.
No, he wants to fuck with YouTube. I'm gonna call that bitch out. I want everybody to call him out on YouTube.
He will.
Done deal. Steve-O, you know I got my back. This is fun. Hell yeah.
He's gonna.
Well, I need.
You actually fight recently?
I fought 7 South. I used to spar everybody Southwest region Golden Gloves. I was their sparring partners. One, because of endurance.
Steve-O can fight, and I know he can fight because I know about some stuff with Steve-O.
Nah, I'm not. Nah, these are all professional fighters. I never went pro because I broke my hand twice.
I know boxing like inside out. Like I watch that shit. I know like all the fighters that are professional.
I know. Mike is a power fighter. I either have to stay away, wear him out, or fight him in the pocket. He has no power in the pocket. All my power comes. No, you can't box Mike. He has power. You have to slip in, slip out. That's all I gotta do. He has no endurance. He's a power builder.
Get a fucking YouTube video of that shit going down.
That's why I need somebody there to record it.
Yep.
And we will have 20,000 fucking.
Shit, you'll have 20,000 people making a circle. I'm sure everybody here would go. We'll make a boot camp out of it while we're at it.
Yeah, in Arkansas, I'll be there.
Hell, there you go.
That's hilarious.
There you go. We'll make a boot camp out of it.
I'm 6'7", 2.
But I want to.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Yeah, Steve-O.
Steve-O, do you know who
we'll run
Errol Spence is?
Huh? Not off the top of my head. I haven't watched boxing in years, man.
He's out of Texas.
Is he out of Dallas? Oh, okay. Nah, I haven't seen him box. Last time I was at the Golden Gloves, Third War Billy was there, and my friend Bubba fought him for the South region title for heavyweight, and he won that in, I want to say, 2012. But I need somebody to drive with me because I can't show up there alone.
Dude, we'll get like 100 people there.
All right. Nah, he wants to fuck with YouTube. Call him out for in July. Let me train for at least a month or two. I gotta get back to the
What if he doesn't want to fight?
He's gonna fight.
What's going on?
Hello?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Steve-O wants to box Mike now for the money that is owed.
Nah, he called Sparrow a bitch. I'm gonna fight him for Sparrow and everybody else in town.
Hell yeah!
So Sparrow, do you want to come with us in July?
Hey, what the fuck? Yeah,
We're gonna
fight Mike?
In July. We're gonna make a YouTube video.
What money is owed?
He owes one of my guys $500. It's not the point. He's out there buying shit. He's talking shit. I want to see if he'll back it up on camera. I don't even care if I get my ass whooped. I just want to see what kind of motherfucker he is.
Hell yeah, I'll go see that.
Overseas.
We'll get the guy from overseas to come rep it, man.
There's a guy from overseas.
I was scared when he says that. Overseas.
Mark's Red's over here like, fuck this, I'm driving the truck, Steve-O get in the fucking truck, we'll roll. I'll drive down, I'll meet with y'all at like Texarkana area.
Who the hell bailed him out?
Salty did, but we PayPal Salty some money.
So he owes you guys some money?
Yeah, but it's no fun me fighting Salty. I'll destroy him.
You should make a YouTube video of fucking Steve-O and be like, hey Mike, since you're so much money, man, and you got all this money, where the fuck is my money for bailing your ass out?
Yeah. I'm going to text him right now. I'm telling him, hey, I'll save the text message.
Text him right now, save text message, get it to Johnny ASAP.
Wait, why hasn't he, like, if he's got all this money, why hasn't he paid you guys back, like, right away?
Yeah, you would think that would be instantaneous, man.
Because prop money doesn't really get you a whole lot these days.
Hey, it works at some of the convenience stores.
Hey, but if we're going to do it, I need somebody to design me a shirt, a logo to put on the glove.
Oh, you know, it's done.
Dude, I'm so happy you guys are back.
We gonna tap him out with the Taps logo. You playing?
Taps out. Yeah, make it a taps out brand.
Oh my God! You're gonna have Ravioli to God and myself announcing that shit ringside.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. He gonna hit a motherfucker display.
Holy shit! He put the shit on that guy's face.
Dude, I'll bring my bird costume and just be the hype.
Yes, you could fly away, Sparrow.
Yeah, put me on a
We'll get him on a ripcord and just put gone.
Alright, well, let me get on the text messages so we can put them in the...
I think Marshall wants to fight with it too. I think that's what he's saying. I don't think he's just saying he'll drive. I think he wants it.
Steve, send me the text message on screenshot.
Let's go. Yeah, let me do it right now. I'm going to call him out.
Thanks. And then I'll send in the video coming out tonight.
Alright, I'll be back.
Perfect. Take care.
Scott. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Sparrow's going to be the Ringo.
Yeah, Sparrow's going to be up there holding the fucking round numbers, man. Oh my God, yes.
No, Sparrow needs to come flying in like that dude that came on the fucking parachute and
After Steve knocks his ass out, you can have Sparrow just hop in, just like land on him from the fucking rafters.
I'm really curious. Is anyone else curious about what Mike's strategy is going to be from this point on?
That's what I've been trying to figure out. I'm a tactician, right? So I'm just trying to figure his angles out as we go.
Like he's playing the victim card, dude. He's playing.
Yeah, absolutely. He's playing the sympathy card. He's playing the almost half truth. I fucked up thing, but at the same point, he's firing shots at all of us.
Well, he's good at it though. He's also still contradicting himself though.
Yeah, he
says the cops beat his ass. He says the cops beat his ass, but then he says, "Oh, well, Katie gave me a black eye." And then
I was so proud of her.
So who gave you the black eye?
Yeah, he said he was beat up when the cops showed up.
Yeah, leaking blood.
No, but think about this. Everyone's seen the movie, 21 Blackjack with thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars, and he's just going with the point where he could make that happen for anyone.
Right.
Oh, yeah, of course.
He doesn't talk about.
No, he's fucking preying
Selling the dreams.
Dreams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you get on here and you find out classic cards gives you like a 2%. Oh.
Yeah, I passed.
But that's not ace tracking. That's not ace tracking. You're not listening, Johnny. You're just a guy overseas.
There's a guy overseas.
How did you guys ever go with him in the first place?
Sorry?
I was watching back-off videos, and then that was linked. I mean, I knew he wasn't legit right off the bat, but I was like, hey, this community is the shit. So I joined up. I was like, whatever, he's making a couple bucks off merchandise. That's not a big deal to me. And then it just progressed from there, and it got to a point that I was like, no, fuck this. I can't be a part of this.
Well, fuck him. It's turning into something good.
For me, it wasn't even about how much money. Even I think I said it before. Even if he made a nickel off of it, I think he made a nickel too much. And the only reason he would have made that much money is because he misrepresented himself. That's the problem. That's the issue.
Yeah. Exactly.
He's not real. He's not real.
My adventure and shit.
Now, if he came out and told everyone, "Oh, I'm not that great at card counting. I'm new to this, but I'm selling these items." Okay, that's honesty. Yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Policy is the policy.
Hey guys, I'm really not that good of a counter, but I can shuffle track some cards. You want to see how I did it? Awesome. Let's talk about it.
Or even if he was just like, hey, I'm learning all this stuff, and I've got these tools. If anyone wants to buy this shit, and we can all learn together, we can, let's take down the Vegas together. Okay, that's a whole
different line of access there.
Right. The only reason people bought stuff from him was because he represented himself to be someone he's not. But if he would have approached it differently, I wouldn't have as much of a problem with him.
He should have just became a rapper, bro. I mean, he's doing the same thing he's doing now.
Right.
Wouldn't be screwing people over. Problem. Oh my God, his name is the Captain, and he's I don't even drink, man.
What's up, guys? It's the Captain.
Well,
I have night terrors about the guy overseas.
My dad used to beat me when I was 3. But meanwhile, this motherfucker's talking about how, he used to have a bicycle gang when he was 12.
It's really just insulting to the AP community because he claims that he's always, the best card counter. Man, I know so many great card counters out there, and there's so many of them. There's a lot.
I've said for a long time that I think KJ is the greatest.
KJ is awesome. I think, KJ is really good at what he does because he knows how to preserve longevity. He understands.
Like the complete package of everything you need to make money in this life.
Yeah,
as an AP.
And he does it consistently. And he always says he makes like upper 5 figures to sometimes lower 6 figures in a year. But like he basically he's very real with it. You can just tell by talking to him. Like that's the thing.
Yeah, you can tell when somebody's legit simply by having the conversations with them.
Have a conversation.
And KJ and I had that conversation where like his partner is also a video poker professional, not in the sense of like a VP pro, but more like they're using a lot of cover game from the VP aspect to be able to continue to play at these places.
And probably there's a lot of coupon hustling, a lot of grinding.
Oh yeah. KJ and I've talked about that stuff ad nauseum.
Yeah.
Because I told him about a promotion that he had going on down where he lives. And I was like, dude, this is how you're gonna angle it, man. You're gonna make so much money. And he's like, I'll look into it. I'm like, trust me, dude. You got to do it.
Yeah, he's KJ's awesome with that stuff. I wish he wouldn't have jumped out of like some of the some of the main forums and then onto some of the lesser. Yeah. Because he jumped out of like BJ21 voluntarily. He never got booted out of BJ21. Right. He left on his own accord, and I was really
and he did the same on Norm's forum, and then Norm went back and banned him because Norm wanted to make it finalized and look better for him than otherwise.
Yeah. That's probably the one part I didn't agree. So, wish you would have stuck around.
Which you don't see a lot of these pros who might as well be the best or could be running around saying, I'm the best card counter there ever was, and shit like that. Usually, like, the really good ones are pretty modest.
But I mean, I will give some kind of acknowledgement to the fact that there's people like Muhammad Ali who was really cocky and he said all the time, I'm the greatest, and he was, there is people that aren't just low-key card counters, exactly. There's like the people that aren't low-key. But at the same time, if you really are the best wouldn't say it because you're trying to maintain longevity, and he already fucked himself by showing his face and telling everybody and calling casinos and getting himself banned and all that shit. So, I mean,
it would really help if your math was right, too. If
that would help as well. I can count 3 tables.
I count the burn card as a -1 because even if it's not a -1, it's just gonna give you that much more of an advantage when you're at the +7 true count that you've been waiting on for only 6 minutes.
I mean, does anyone remember when Michael Morgenstern said he makes 900 to 9,000 a day? Okay, and now he never talked about EV, but I mean, think about that number for a second, though, okay? Like, I think I actually ran a simulation one time when we were on live chat just to kind of simulate, like, what the MIT team was doing, right? And the MIT team, for those who don't know, they were back counting, they had spotters. They would jump in, and what was the top bets? It was usually, like, double 10,000, okay? Even at double $10,000 bets, top bets. By the way, only playing positive situations. The EV is still only, like, $4,000 an hour or $3,000. It was something ridiculous, but
not what he's talking. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because I remember one time when he burned the supposed $10,000, he said, "I can make it back in 1 hour." That's what he said. That was one thing he said, and I was like, "What?"
Big talk, little action.
What? And of course, his glasses always conveniently died whenever he was putting out big money on the table or whenever he was cashing out chips. By the way, no one ever saw chips. I mean, and if anyone it's like $1,000 worth of chips. I'm sorry. I mean, look back at SmallCap's fucking story, right? Mm-hmm. Dude accumulated $80,000 in chips, okay? And he had to finally get rid of it. I mean, like, people actually keep chip inventories, okay? I recently left a town with like $5,000 in chips because I was leaving due to heat reasons and because I just didn't have time to cash it out. So if you have that much money, if you're putting that much money on the table, you will have a chip inventory of some sort. You are going to probably have chips from different towns. I know I do. And, I mean, there's been times where I've traveled back from Vegas with $6,000, $7,000 in chips because I knew that I was going to be back there a month later. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just take them all with me and come back later. You never see them with chips. No, instead you see a bunch of $10,000 stacks that are perfectly neatly made. And of course, apparently, he must have won everything in $10,000 denominations because he's either walking around with a bunch of $10,000 wraps, or he's going to every casino and he wins exactly $10,000 to the dollars. So they're each one for him. And of course, he never he didn't win like $255,938.50 piece. No, he won exactly $175,000, not a dollar more, not a dollar less.
Well, he has to do that. The math is easier for him when the numbers aren't. I hate it when they're odd numbers and stuff. I can't really count those.
It was like, wow, this is the most staged thing I've ever seen.
The best part is like when you got a mind like mine.
Yeah, I got an alien mind.
I'm sitting there like, are you kidding? Like,
yeah, the lack of description is actually blatantly.
A mind like yours, motherfucker. I sit there and I see effective removal as I'm counting. I don't even need to count. You know what I mean? Like, I see effective removal. And he doesn't even know what effective removal was until I pointed it out to him.
No.
Remember that one video?
He doesn't know what EOR is. He doesn't know what ROR is. He doesn't know what ED is.
Exactly. He doesn't know the basic math terms that define this game.
There's a guy overseas.
Yeah.
Remember that one video where he said that he threw money out of his convertible while he was driving?
No, I didn't see that one. I have to be honest. I did not watch most of his videos. Like, I skimmed through every one of his videos, but I'd only watch, like, if it was like a 20-minute video or a 30-minute video, I would watch maybe 2 minutes out of it, because I couldn't usually bring myself to like, for example, the deviation one, I never watched the whole video. I watched the first minute, maybe minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then I had to stop. Like, as soon as he said, there's no such thing as counting deviation. What the fuck? Is that a real, like, did you, I'm like rewinding it, like, he didn't just say that. Let me check again. No, there's no such thing as deviation. I'm like, and then my favorite one, when I have a big stack out, and I have a 16 against a 10, I hit that motherfucker. I'm like, are you out of your mind right now? Like, what the fuck? I mean, illustrious 18, that's not a secret to anyone. This is not like, Lost Hidden Tomb, like scrolls or something. You have to search. You could just look up counting deviations on Google, and the first thing that's going to pop up all over the place, illustrious 18 or indices, index place for whatever counts, man. So it's crazy that
that's why you're not the number one player in the world, because you listen to these other people. Come on, baby.
That's what my friend would always say. I'm like, because I was like, I've been in like the middle of this horrible losing streak lately, and then I'm like, man, this game is fucking killing me right now. He's like, dude, it's because you haven't been watching Michael Morgenstern's video enough, man. He's like, why don't you hook up with him, man? He'll teach you how to make $200,000 in one night. I'm like, fuck. Go
in one night.
Michael Morgenstern.
7 casinos. I kicked out of 7 casinos.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think the thing about the chips, you're completely correct, though, because you would think even if your spyglass is died, everybody has a camera on their phone. Katie can at least take a picture of the chips, while you're cashing something out, whatever, something, just anything to give the people so that you're not sitting there going, oh, well, I'm just going to take this at face value because this is how I do things in life, like, who the fuck does that?
Oh, how about how he said that he's the king of Wong and he doesn't Wong in a single video?
Yeah.
I mean, like, the money did look real for a minute, though. I mean, like, I'm not going to lie. Even that, for me, when I first saw this, but I didn't think he made it for card counting, though. My first thought was, because, like, I watched another one of his videos, and within, like, a few minutes into it, I was like, this guy's not an AP, because something's not right here. And then I see the video with the money. I'm like, fuck, where'd he get all that money from? And I'm like, and I'm thinking, and I listened to him talk for a few minutes. I'm like, there's no way possible he's making this money from card counting, so how's he doing it? I'm like, this guy's Walter White. This is the real motherfucking Walter White right here. He's got a fucking meth lab somewhere. I'm thinking,
and he's putting his face all over YouTube.
I was like, this guy is in Arkansas. He's got a fucking meth lab somewhere, and he is just cranking this shit out. And this is his cover story. Blackjack is his cover story. I was like, that's what it is. And then finally, a friend of mine sent me a screenshot of the video and was like, dude, look at that money again. And he's like, pull out some real money. and just compare the two side by side. He's like, that's not real, man.
I don't know if you saw the picture that I posted. I had like a 20 grand in blue faces, and there's that little blue band that goes across it, the security strip shit. It makes a big lump in the middle of the bills. So when you see them all stacked on top of each other like that, they would be like offset. Those are all sitting perfectly flat in his videos.
Well, and then there's the thing too. Have any of you guys ever withdrawn or been given large stacks of money?
Yes.
Yeah. Because all of them have a timestamp and a date and where they came from. All of those fucking bands say that.
I didn't know.
You don't just get random $10,000 bands unless you buy them from fucking Walmart. You know what I mean?
Right.
You get it from any kind of bank or big cashier case or something like that. It usually has the fucking time, date, stamp, and everything on it. Matter of fact, I've used that from an interdiction stop. Actually, to prove that I was withdrawn from a bank of mine.
Actually, if anyone saw the one that I posted, though, that one was homemade.
Actually, hold on. I might have. Hold on. I'll be right back.
I posted one, but mine was just homemade from the computer, though. I just.
I mean, I guess it's just. 210. You're in a hotel room and you got a duffel. Do you have a duffel bag full of that money and fucking you cash all of it out that night? Yeah, I just, I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean,
it's nothing one to put as the head of, if you're trying to get people gassed up and make them believe in you, you put that as your head video, which is exactly what he did. As soon as you go to the site, his channel, you see, oh my God, this is all the money he made, and then you look through his videos and he goes, and this is how I did it. He's had a setup. His setup was brilliant because he's not a dumb guy, but he's not a smart guy. But he's allowed himself he's a con artist. That's what they do. The grifters do that shit. They just know exactly how to play it to the dumbest extent. And he just happened to have his balloon shot out of there early by going to jail and being exposed.
Right. Because the thing is, I've tried going on.
Who's ready to fucking go?
That's fucking
I am.
Le baguette.
Yeah, I tried commenting multiple times. I just got if I go on, I have one of my Facebook accounts. I can't even comment now. It's like there's no option for me to comment or like anything or dislike or do anything. Can't do it.
There's a picture coming up right now.
Yep, there you go.
It's a shitty picture, but do you see what I'm talking about?
Right.
Yeah, they got the print on there.
So that's got the date, which I believe, hold on, let me look at it. 6/29/2016. So that is what, June 29th, 2016 at 1:20.13 from the U.S. Bank branch that was withdrawn from.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every one of them has those. You guys want more? I've got more. I've got another $10,000.
Well, you're just a bank robber.
Yeah, because they'll kindly
print them out
wait.
for you.
They'll kindly wait and print them out. And see, the thing is, though, here's a better point. They don't do them on the $2,000 strips. You know what they do on the $2,000 strips? I'll take a picture.
Stamp them.
Mine are just homemade like that.
That's as homemade and rubbish as it gets.
Listen, I take Word and then I print them out and all in a line, and then I take them and I just cut them out in script, and then I just use that.
Okay, so here's another one for the $2,000 strips, right?
Just sign them out.
They just initial them out. There's no stamp on them. There's no timer date or anything. But on the 10,000, the big bands, 10,000 and above, they all have a timestamp of when they were counted down through the process and procedure that they have, and the last time it was printed off, and it prints them out and they put them around it. So there's another thing. So if you guys want to see that shit, go zoom into the video, see if you see any of those barcode numbers.
Yeah,
that'll prove indefinitely if any of that money came from a bank or from a cage.
But you know what though? I got a $5,000 one from one of the casinos one time. Honestly, I did not pay attention if it had.
I would not imagine the $5,000 one had one because $5,000 is not a CTR, but a $10,000 one's a CTR.
Yes. Very true.
Gotcha.
You see what I mean on that? Like 10,000 CTR limit, so of course it's gonna have a time of the stamp.
And then I cashed out like 11,000 from one casino one time, and they did CTR me, but they didn't give me any bands though. They just gave me money.
Yeah, sometimes look at it out. But if you're talking $210,000 where they're gonna come in stacks.
Oh yeah, of course.
You see what I mean? So yeah, go back to it, see if there's any kind of barcode on it at all. Otherwise, it's 100% fake.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. Huh. You're just sitting with my homemade ones.
Yeah, that's the thing though. He's pretty much just running a cult at this point because you can't do anything against the people in the cult. They're just gonna keep on following blindly and fuck them.
See that? And that's why from the very beginning though I very
Nichols.
I very 1 million.
Legit.
That's why I completely discourage like banning people because like I think if you allow someone enough, like if you allow someone in long enough to have a conversation, then everything is going to sort itself out on its own. It'll happen on its own.
Hopefully, yeah. You would hope that just being around the right information long enough would bring somebody around.
It will. If I would actually encourage Mike to hop into these discords and these chats because if you let it happen, don't ban him. Let him come in. Like let people who support Mike come in because when it does, you're going to be able to just have a full-on conversation with them. And if the conversation goes on long enough, eventually the truth is going, to surface. That's all that's going to end up happening. Cause,
yeah, it's just like when you get somebody who's religious and you fucking finally get them to come to the light about what their belief is.
Right. So I say any Mike supporter wants to come in, let him come in. Even if he wants to talk trash, let him talk trash, let him come in. Let him do what he needs to do because it will eventually surface. Eventually, eventually he's going to come up, you're going to point him into these directions. We'll check this out, check that out. And they're going to keep constantly, challenging with certain questions and you're going to rebuttal. And eventually it's going to, it'll get to a point where it's going to, things are going to manifest.
Well, and you also have to be professional when you're speaking to them because there's a lot of people on here who will just like troll back. And like if you speak to those people who are coming in here assuming we're just haters and you respond as a hater, they're going to be like, yeah, you're just a hater and leave. So if you give them, if they come in with legit questions and you answer them professionally, then they'll hopefully be like, wait a second, this seems a little more legit than talking to 12-year-olds.
Right. And the only, I obviously would never condone, like, the people who used to get on the live chats, because I remember I got on one of the YouTube live chats, and they would be like, oh, I'm gonna fuck Katie or something. I was like, okay, I would never condone that, because that's not getting anywhere. Like, that's not going to...
Yeah, somebody went on Katie's Facebook and was like, fuck you, bitch, Michael got locked up because you, and I'm just like, are you serious?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, like, I would never condone, like, anyone, like, coming in on talking, like, saying some really stupid, immature shit like that, because that's not going to accomplish anything.
Of course not.
It's not, and that's not going to progress, the conversation. All it's going to do is just rile people up, and then people are going to get pissed off, and that's why people are just getting banned and stuff. So clearly those guys shared my hatred for Mike, but they did it in a completely wrong way.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think
I'm being called out right now because I've posted that about Katie earlier, and I was just joking around, but you hear that? I just got aired out real quick. I'm like,
I didn't realize that, but no.
No, I just make a joke, yes. No, talk to anybody else who comes in, yeah.
No, there were people on, like, some of the live chats that were saying some really vulgar shit, though. So.
Yeah, that's people behind keyboards for you.
Yeah. But, like I said, just let people come in. Let them get out, and
they won't even come in no more. He keeps taking down my goddamn Discord link. I keep posting.
Let me see if, because I posted something again. I bet it got taken down, though. Let's see.
Exo.
What's up?
In $1 from. Well, we don't have dollar bills. Well, you can tell because our money's all different colors.
Your money is gay as shit.
And smells like maple syrup, from what I understand.
And bagged milk.
I get confused with American money. Like, they all look the same.
Oh, my Canadian friend was trying to say he's like Canadian American. He was trying to say that America's going to start changing the color just like they did with the blue face $100 bill. They're going to start making different colored other bills as well, just to be like Canada.
Okay, so on Mike's thing, I'm looking for the Discord link, but somebody did ask what are the circumstances of him waking up beaten and bloody, and he says, can't get into the details, lawsuit coming. Didn't he say that Katie beat him up?
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. He contradicted himself. In the video, you would think he would try to at least watch his video and then be like, oh yeah, that doesn't make any sense, and then like,
no, he's trying to get ahead of everything before anything bad happens.
And he's doing it slowly too because it took a few days to post this video. So he's just this is what happens when he doesn't have a team with him anymore that can tell him like, hey, this video's good and all that shit. He
has to think very carefully because right now there's a lot of borders up, man, and he's got a lot of things to work around at this point because
it shouldn't be hard for somebody who can count 3 tables at once to fucking think like that, though.
He's not tall enough to count 3 tables at once unless those 3 tables are right next to each other. I'm just saying.
And Dash coughed yesterday because he was trying to record the video.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Hey guys, in this video I want to show you how to add a Korean to your voice chat. And fucking click it right now, number 5 will really piss you off.
Alright, you guys done yet? Can I hop in the shower?
What? No. What?
But no.
No.
Nobody, buddy.
Nobody. Don't go nowhere, buddy. It is necessary that you stay.
Well, if I hopped in the shower right now and left, then I couldn't have been there. I can wait.
Just stream some Facebook Live while you're in the shower, big dog.
Look, guys, it's Michael Moore Gangster here. That's my penis in the shower.
I'll put the camera down, but I don't want to make any of y'all jealous.
Oh God, he had a fucking video like that, didn't he? I think I remember that. That was one of the fucking spyglass videos.
Yeah.
God damn it, he keeps deleting my shit.
Him and Salty just got to be sitting there and be like playing whack-a-mole with the fucking Discord.
Sports better?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I was up. The highlight of the night was up 135 or something like that, and then I went down and I sat there too long, and you know how that goes. I went down $200, so. But I'm going back Saturday to make it back. Fucking ApeX are killing me, bro, just because the variance has been stabbing me in the fucking ass.
You're playing the whole shoe?
Yeah, because I got enough bankroll. I play it through the whole time. And the only tables, there's only 2 tables outside that are the $10 minimum tables. Everything else is like 20 to 25 inside, and I don't want to sit down through that shit. And I could just wong it out, but I prefer to sit there because an 8 that can get super positive. We can also go super negative. So like there was times it was just like I said, we would have a true count of like +6, and we'd spread 2 hands a piece, and then we'd just catch the 15s, 16s, and stay on them, and the dealer would pull the natural 20s, and that's just how it happens sometimes.
Yeah, I think I've actually said multiple times my biggest shoe that I lost in one shoe was like over $11,000, and it was one of the most perfect situations that you could ever ask for. Like, I had a situation where the cut was amazing, like half a deck out of 6 decks. So, very great penetration. And then there was just one other person at the table with me. And the count just soared through the fucking stratosphere right off the very beginning. And then as soon as that happened, the guy next to me opted out and he left. So I'm playing by myself, head up with the dealer in a massively high count with great penetration.
How did you hide your erection?
It was great until I lost $11,000.
Well, there was a thump at the table like this.
Yeah, I mean that sucked. I mean, like, and it literally took no more than 10, 15 minutes, man. It was just like, and I remember, so I was buying in 1,000 at a time because I was putting up double 500s. I came in with chips at first, so I didn't CTR. I was like really close to CTRing, like $300 away from CTRing, and I came in with some chips beforehand, and I lost all the chips, and I just buying in a little bit at a time, and I was starting to ramp up, double 150s, double 200s, double 300s. Once I started getting up to the bigger bets, I was losing every big bet. Every big bet. I just could not win to save my life. And and then of course once I was at max bets, I just started buying in 1,000 at a time, 1,000. That would
get my 1,000. Get my 1,000 at the 1,000. Yeah, dude. I mean, it just sucks because I haven't had one of those days where I just couldn't lose. I've only had those days where I could win a little bit. And it sucks because, like I said, I'm not completely 100% proficient at counting yet, so I'm not gonna. I have a nice enough bankroll to be able to do those things, but I'm not gonna do that yet until I'm 100% confident. So.
Yeah, Marsha, at CTR, what Exo said, yes, courtesy transaction report. Once you buy in or you cash out like over 10,000, you have to by federal law, what Exo just said, you have to turn an ID and a social security number. You don't have to pay taxes on it right then and there, but it does get reported like to the IRS though. So, and I've CTR'd quite a few times. That's not my concern. My concern is like if you're trying to play unrated somewhere where they don't know your name or you're trying to avoid
CTR triggers them identifying you, and you don't want that if that's the way you're going to be playing.
Exactly.
Rat hole. Just rat hole.
No.
That's why he's running out the door. Ching, 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 ching. Pockets full of fucking chips. He's like, you won't catch me.
So when I used to play locally, and I used to have like a pretty large chip inventory. I think at like the most I had was like $18,000 in chips just sitting at home. And so I would walk into like a casino, and I would have chips for every casino. And so like when it was summertime, I'd be wearing cargo shorts, and I would stuff like $5,000 worth of chips in between my two cargo shorts. And then whenever I would be walking, all you hear is click, 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 click. All you hear is just like click-clacking of chips every time I walk. I would have to walk with such stiff legs just so that way I wouldn't make all this noise. And then when I sit down, I'd have just a few $100 in green chips in my hand, and I'd start playing with that. And as soon as the count shoots up, boom, I just start throwing out money, and all of a sudden, and then if you start losing, pit boss starts looking at you fucking weird because they're just like, you lose 2 hands of 300, and then you dig in your pockets and you pull out another $600 in green chips, and you lose that again, and you dig in your pockets and you do it again, and then you lose that again, and then you keep digging, and then like people would sit next to me and they'd be like, "What the fuck?
How much money do you have in your pockets?"
Right? Like, how much chips do you have in your pockets? Like, why do you have all these chips?
And then, the fucking like, door to Narnia, the cage in Narnia in his pocket.
Right, exactly. Just pulling out chips, and they're like, "What is fucking going on here?" And you just see people's eyes are like, "What?" I've had so many people say that, they just think it's so weird. But and that's a red flag too, of course. When you walk to a fucking table and
clap,
and you unleash like $4,000 in chips, just I don't know, a green chip. Because it's one thing to walk away from like a table with a bunch of blacks and
herbs and blacks,
or oranges, whatever, and so you walk away from there, it's fine. But you start coming in with a bunch of green chips because and that was the thing. I always used to carry green chips with me because black chips just kind of defeats the purpose of what you're trying to do. You're trying to, like, my whole thing was you want to basically avoid as much interaction with the pit as you can. Like, you don't want any, you don't want them to look at you. You don't want them to talk to you. You don't want to say, "Hi, how's your day?" Nothing. Like, you don't want to make eye contact. Like, my whole goal was just to get in there and get out as fast as I could. And so that's the whole point of coming in with a chip inventory, because you don't have to buy in. Because if you buy in, what happens? The pit boss has to come over. They have to verify the buy-in. They look at you, and then they ask you, "Hey, do you have a player's card?" And then they second look at you, and they're like, "You look kind of familiar." Like, you don't want any of that. So you just want to kind of sneak in, And but if you come in with black chips, though, then what's going to happen? Dealer's going to say, check change, 400 black, for,
Yep.
They give you 400 green, and they take the black chips, and they always announce that at some places.
Black in action.
Or when you put black on the table for a bet, black action.
Black action. Exactly. And so I always try to avoid that. So I would come in with all green chips, and so I would have like thousands of dollars in green chips. But as a result, I would be click-clacking everywhere. Or if I wore jeans,
round of applause was following them around.
and then, or if I wore jeans, I'd have like two huge bulges in each pocket, and they're just nothing but chips. And then, like,
God have that anyway.
God forbid you have to answer your fucking phone if it rings because you're trying to take your phone out.
That's why you keep your phone in. That's why you wear a jacket and you keep your phone in a jacket pocket.
Right, exactly.
Not in fucking Florida.
Yeah, because I'm over here. I got Apple headphones here. I got a huge iPhone on this one. I got a bunch of chips, and I got keys, and I got everything. I'm just trying to like sort through it all, and I'm pulling stuff out, and chips are falling out of my pocket. It's just a mess. So yeah, it does help if you have like some sort of other pockets or cargo shorts, or if you have, jacket that has multiple pockets.
I usually have a jacket I wear that thing's got some pockets on it, and I keep chips in one pocket, and I keep the phone in another.
Yeah.
Car keys in different pockets.
Yep. Yeah, and when I would run out of pockets, I would start carrying shit in pockets I normally would not carry them. Like I would start putting my car keys in my like back rear pocket, my left, or you keep your wallet. So one would have your wallet, one would have your car keys.
Yep.
Because I'd have to just remember to not sit on them, or maybe.
Are you guys too cool to wear fanny pack or something? What's going on here?
Well, I'm not old enough to wear a fanny pack.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that was always good times. So, yeah, chip inventory. Mike didn't have one.
It's crazy that you carry around that many green chips, because every single time I try to leave a table, the fucking bitches are like, oh, call up, you got to I'm like, get the fuck away from me. I'm just going outside.
I'm a dick, though. Casino employees don't like me, and I'm not necessarily condoning that that's the way you should go, because you kind of want to be.
No, because I know the story you're about to tell, and that was a dick move.
I don't know. I don't have a specific story. There's been a lot of times.
When you asked them to color you up in black so they had a chip fill. Oh, that was a dick move.
Fuck that. I was getting backed off anyway. I don't give a shit about them. Fuck them. I wish I could have taken all their fucking chips, man. And I would have just, man, I would have taken everything in white if I could, just so I could fucking make I don't give a fuck. No, but like, usually I'm kind of a dick, though. If they're just like, hey, can you color those up? I'm like, nah, I'm good, Pete. And I just fucking walk off before they can even say anything. Like, I'm just out of there. And if I don't stop at the table, and if I'm like, and I'm trying to really hang on to as many of those chips as I can, I start like slowly taking big stacks of like 400, 500, 300, and I just start putting them in my pockets. And then as soon as I like play out my last hand, there's almost no chips in front of me, and I literally will just grab the handful. And then as soon as I lose the hand, I'm up, and before they could even be like, sir, I'm gone. Like, I'm already like halfway.
Motherfucker got track shoes on. They got cleats in the building. He's sitting there walking down the thing. He's just ripping up carpet.
I wear my running shoes.
Frog, you're alive.
Yeah, bro. Okay, let me tell you the story.
Baby frog.
All right, so we have this guy that comes in all the time. He never wants to color up. I mean, basically who he is, he's just being a dick. So he comes in, and he gets like $400 in red chips, and just like carries them like a baby to the other table. Hey man, we need you to color up because we can't fit those red chips in this tray. If you lose, 100 of them, we can't put them in the tray. There's just too many. It's full. Right. And I was like, I need you to go color them up. And he's like, really, man? You're going to make me do that? I was like, yeah, just carry them right over there, or I'll carry them for you. It doesn't matter. And he's like, all right. And he stands up and goes to cash them out. That's 400 red chips that I had to go.
Oh, my God.
So I made, for sure, like, anything he did wrong, I was like, hey, don't do that again or I'm going to have to kick you out. And I got him.
That frog means business.
All right, wait, are you allowed to say where you work at? Can I ask that? Is that forbidden?
Wait, am I allowed to say where I work?
No, am I allowed to ask that? Yeah.
Oh, no, I can't tell.
Oh, man. That's not me. I don't take red chips, though. So,
wait. No, now there's a reason for you asking that because you're that fucking guy, aren't you?
No. He's sitting there running off with a Walmart bag full of red chips. It's like, get me now.
No, that's not me. I don't. If it was green chips, I'd be like, that's kind of a story that I might know, but no. No, I'm usually not. I am. If I don't need the chips, and if I don't need to collect an inventory for any reason, then I usually will call them out. And I can tell, like, sometimes the pit bosses are actually trying to, like, actually count my chips on the table. You can see they're concentrating so hard, and they're using their pen to kind of point at. I'm like, you want me to just help you out?
Oh yeah.
There's $1,232 and change over here. And they're like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. So, like, just ask me, so it gets kind of awkward when they're just sort of like, they're trying to peek around, but they're trying to not make it look obvious though either, which is kind of weird sometimes.
Well, I think they also might just be trying to practice, like, so they can like get a good variance whenever they look at a stack of chips on a table, or they can just be able to do it secondhand.
Maybe they're just doing the audit. Yeah, not those guys. There's a different time and place for that.
No, yeah, they're just trying to figure out like what you have, because they're trying to keep track of it. But
there's so many here that don't give a fuck. They're just like fucking stupid ass. Like, they have the new pit bosses kind of like training coming in, and these kids look like they just got out of puberty. Like, there's like these fucking scraggly bearded like
all of us,
kids.
Apparently.
Yeah, exactly. They're like walking around like fucking kids in a candy store, like looking at tables. Oh, over here's where you're gonna be working. Oh, there's a lot of pretty girls in here. Like, what the fuck? This guy's gonna be fucking backing me off. Like, I would knock this guy out in one fucking swing.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty nice, but there's some times where I just don't give a shit, and I just.
Well, my problem is I'm too friendly, man. Like, I'm just a social person, and like, I'll come over, start joking with you and shit. And I'd kind of rather be their friend, because maybe it'll make them less likely to want to fucking boot you, but at the same time, it's not even their call. If you get a call from upstairs and whatnot, but.
Right.
I'm not at the point where I'm taking that kind of money from them anyway. I'm just, until I'm proficient enough, I'm just, trying to make a little $400 here, a little $500 here. If I can make more than that, it's cool.
Hell yeah. It's like I tell everybody, if I make $100 a day, I'm happy. Not because the $100 is anything significant.
No, it's just guaranteed money, as long as you made money that day. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, as long as I have more today than what I started with yesterday.
Well, if I ate for free today, that's usually the way I look at it. If I ate for free,
Well, that's just a diamond card, man. That's easy.
Yeah.
Or an EP card over at some of the properties, and
I got a couple diamond cards.
Playing rated.
Yeah. Some of them it's worth doing just so you can get free food every day.
And the rooms.
The rooms are pretty nice. And having the resort fees taken off is nice too.
Right. Because I've got it set up on one of my cards where I got like a casino rate for free almost any time I go, and then with it being diamond, it's just you don't get resort fees, so it's just quick check-ins, and I can pretty much go to any Caesar's property that I want without ever even having to put in any action. So I've never been to like probably a Harris property in like Baltimore or whatever, but I could probably go there and stay for free. Or, whatever, that's just an example. But, like, there's a lot of places I've never been to before, and then I was able to go stay there for free. But then I have another diamond card that I got diamond in a day, and then I got backed off on that card, and I don't get any of that room shit there. But I still wouldn't get any resort fees, which would be nice. But they blocked me from all freebies so far. But I'm going to test out the theory, though, and see what happens if I play with that card at other properties, because that's the one good thing about Caesars is that
that's a property you don't want to fuck over, though.
Oh, I actually have a real blackjack question for both of you guys. Wow, that's funny. First time in a long time. So for either of you, what's the highest deficit you've ever returned from playing blackjack, and what point do you usually leave when you're down? Like, what's the cutoff for you?
I don't have a time where I leave and lose.
It's really more about circumstances surrounding me.
Yeah,
but I mean,
I mean,
So what's the highest deficit you returned from? Then, like, what were you down? What did you get? How did you get? Or how much did you come back up? Whatnot.
I had a good swing up one time. Yeah, it wasn't like a really crazy, like, I was in for like 7,000, and I was losing my ass on good cards, too. I was really upset. I remember I had like double 400s out, and I remember specifically on this hand, I get dealt 2 pat 20s against like a dealer 6. And of course, the dealer rips out a fucking 21, you know? And the only deviation that I don't use is I don't split 10. So I do more of like a sweet 16 versus an illustrious 16.
Yeah.
So, I'm just getting killed. And I've got like another $5,000 or $6,000 in my pocket. But I say, okay, I didn't want to buy in for any more, like on that shoot, because I was just buying. I'm just getting killed. And it's 2 hours into this. And I start putting out, like, I start playing one hand, because I'm playing head up anyway, so it kind of doesn't really matter so much. I'm not sharing those cards with anyone else. So, long story short, 45 minutes after being down 7,000, I was actually, I walked away from the table up 7,000. I had a $14,000 upswing in, like, 45 minutes.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that was one of my nicer, I don't know. He's,
I'm sure it doesn't like any of the
Mine are much less interesting.
How about you, little Exo? I mean, I don't care. What interesting is interesting. I just want to hear about it too.
I've had several times where I'll have a max bet out there, be it 250, 350, or maybe even light 400s area. That'll end up splitting out 4 fucking hands, catching doubles, and losing the whole fucking thing because the other draws out to 21. I mean, probably my biggest deficit at any one point is about $7,100, and that's just because we had knocked down a $50,000 pay-by, and we had a decent chunk of cash on us and a check in our pocket, and I was like, you know, I got a good blackjack game here, let's go check it out. And we were just rolling blackjack level, and it was awful. It was awful. We basically stayed at basically what would amass to about a true count of 2 on a single deck game, and we just stayed there for round after round after round. It never went up, it never went down. It was just true count 2 all the way through every reshuffle, everything, and I just lost every fucking hand forever.
Yeah.
But we caught probably 3 or 4 shuffles in a row that was just like phenomenal. Like we'd catch 3 blackjacks in the first half of the fucking cut, and the thing is, you're not getting that thing dealt all the way down. We just happened to just luck out getting the aces on our side.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there. I think one of the biggest hands of my life came from a massive blackjack on that table. But it was also one of the things where we had a massive true count going our way. So you just kind of had to bet that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it wasn't a table that I could add another hand to. So it was a no true entry table. Otherwise, I probably would have made significantly more from it.
And you know what I fucking noticed though is that it's funny as shit. I don't. It just seems to happen. I know there's no real rhyme or reason to it, but I feel like whenever you have the last bit of the money that you bought in for, and you put it on that hand, you're like, all right, if I lose this, I'm going home. If I don't,
always get a blackjack or a double down.
You either get a blackjack, double down, or you get a split.
Yep,
always.
That happened to me on Tuesday, man. I swear to God, 3 different fucking times. I'm out there with like a $185 hand, and then, boom, here's your 11 versus.
Here's my fucking 8s last night. Every time it's fucking 8s. And then I get, on top of that, so I buy them for 20 more. It was just 15 more bucks. I had $200 left over in black chips. I was like, I've been here too long. I'm going to cash these black chips out if I lose this. And here come the 8s. So I had 15 on the hand. And so I split them. I pulled out $20 out of my pocket, split them, had 5, a little red chip left over after splitting them.
Right.
And then what slaps onto my first 8? A fucking 3.
There's your double.
So, so I do the double for less, and here comes the fucking.
Dare you double for less?
Here comes the 2. Yeah, I know. I was like, I'm not fucking pulling more money out of my fucking wallet right now. So I put the 5 on my chip, double for less, and then here comes a 2 for a 13, and then yeah, exactly, and then what comes out next on the? I don't know. Then it comes the king. Yeah, here comes the king on the next hand. So 18, and this was versus a dealer up card of 9. So I was like, something fucking pissed about it. So I had 18 and I had 13, and of course the dealer fucking pulls a 19, hard 19, and then so they got me for the extra little $20 out of my pocket.
They do that to me all the time. I'll sit there and be like, all right, here we go. Here's the I'm not in. There's my wallet on the table again.
It's amazing. Here I am reaching to my wallet.
It's amazing how sometimes just 1 or 2 rounds can make a ginormous difference in how much money you win or lose, right? Or for a big session. The last session that I played, somewhat kind of close to my area, I ended up, I went through some big swings, and then I had a $9,000 down swing to put me down like almost 6,500, something like that. And then, because I was in for 6,500 of my own money after that. And then I came back up, basically ended up putting another 5,000 back. So I lost 1,500 for the trip, but I had 2 crucial rounds that had I won them, I would have actually finished my session.
Well, that's how it always is.
Yeah.
There's always 2 rounds where, you end up splitting massive number of hands out, and you get all the doubles and this, that, and that. And there's one time where I was playing 2 hands on a double deck game that allowed me to mid-shoe entry. I had 6 hands out and 4 doubles, and this has been on one of my more upper thresholds on that game. And if I win this thing, I'm up probably $6 or $7 grand for the night, which is pretty big for my level. And of course, dealer draws out 20 and beats almost everything, pushes half the other things. Like I'm sitting there like this motherfucker. Like he pulled out 6, 4, 10, just like that. Boom, boom, boom. Like my biggest always come against like a 5 or a 6 dealer draws out to a 20 or 21. And I'm like 6 hands out.
Every single fucking time, it'll be the 8s again, and I'll get the third 8. It'll be like, oh, split it again, and you're like, yeah, okay, and then you get a double, and then you're like, all right, the dealer's got a 6 up card. You're like, and the fucking count's high, so it's got to be a 10 under there. So here comes the fucking dealer up card or underneath card, and there's the whole card. There's the 5, the 11, and you're just smiling at yourself. You're like, oh, and I left him with a nice fat 10, right? Didn't I? And then here comes the 10 to the 21.
Yeah, and then like Tuesday as an example, on a double deck game that allowed me to re-split aces, okay? This isn't a pitch game either. I split up to 4 aces, right? And I had a second hand that had a hard 20 on it. So I've got 4 split aces out there, and it comes out 10, 10, 10, and the 3, right? Of course the dealer, and this is against a dealer 6. Of course the dealer flips over 5, pulls a jack. Pushes everything, lose 2 hands. So I'm like, oh god, it's sickening.
Yeah, so that one you can't even just to win.
So that one specific session that I played, the one specific session that I played, it was really what hurt. It was I had double 450s out, doubled one of them down to 13, and so I got the money on the table. Dealer, I think, was originally showing something, I don't remember exactly what it was, and the count was pretty high. The dealer kept drawing. There's 1 deck left. This is on a shoe game where the cut card comes out, so that means there's 1 deck left, okay? So now your running count is your true count. Running count got up to plus 16 or 17, I think, 17. Is drawing 2s and 3s and ace, 2, ace, and draws up to fucking 16, okay? And I've got $1,350 on on just this round, and I'm thinking, oh my god, the running count is now 7, so true count's 17. She has to bust. This lady has to fucking bust, and of course she pulls a 4 for 20. Just scrapes everything away from me, and then later that night I had 1 more hand where I had double 400s out or something like that. I don't remember how many times I split and doubled, but I know I had 2,400 on the table, something like that. And basically, it was either 2 hands of 300 or 400, one of the two. And I just kept splitting and catch another pair, split again, catch another card, and I have like an 8 or something, like 2s or 8s or something. I was splitting, and then double down, and split again. And then dealer shows a 2, draws a 10 for 12, and 9 for 21, and then just once again raked everything away. And so I did the math. If I would have won just those 2 rounds instead of ending the session negative 1,500, I would have finished up plus 6,000. So just goes to show you, just 2 single rounds like that can totally change everything.
Oh, yeah.
The guy overseas. Thank you for every time. Fucking Mikey, good timing.
Out of nowhere.
You think he's gonna allow anyone to go on this?
Say what? You're breaking up bad.
You're robot.
You sound like a robot right now.
Oh.
I have no idea what the hell
sorry.
happened to me.
I was thinking, I'm wondering how the disc.
I was wondering if
Anyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Like for the first half second, you're good, and then it just cuts out. It's a connection. Do you have a lot of bandwidth going on right now over at your house?
I just now got back on. Oh, my wife. Anyone hear me now?
Yeah.
Now.
I was going to say that Dashkoff was in his basement watching fucking porn at 8 different windows.
And that's what Dashkoff does, though.
Exactly.
Tell you what, I'll just listen right now.
No, you're good. You're good now. You didn't cut out saying that.
No, I'm wondering if Mike's going to open up another Discord.
I don't know. Like he probably has to for his live stream.
Yeah, for sure he would. Doesn't mean it's gonna be good.
Oh God, Rich is here. I'm leaving.
Fuck.
Buddy.
Buddy. Hey, buddy.
Exo hates me.
I do not.
I show up and you want to leave?
I've been trying to take a shower for like 3 hours, and these guys just keep talking.
Goddamn, what are you eating there, Ace?
Ace is like, I love potato chips, man.
I'll put my mic on mute.
Ace is over there just munching on fucking Lay's, man, and Rich is over here just peeling back Oreo layers. No.
Exo, go wash your arse.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna go do that now, because by the time I get done with that and pack a quick bag, I can miss rush hour traffic here in Kansas City and skip it out where I'm going. So I think I'm probably gonna go now.
What the fuck is rush hour traffic in Kansas City like?
A dead stop on one of the busiest interstates in the entire country.
That sucks.
Boom.
I don't know if you've ever driven on I-35 and I-70, but the two of them merge in Kansas City.
Oof. No. There's I-95 here. It's pretty shitty.
Yeah. Imagine every semi in the country, and they're all just on the same road.
Yeah, that's pretty much I-40 from Little Rock.